Electricity freak, future freak, biopic freak, better of the freak. Election, 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 electricity freak, election, 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 electricity freak.
Just kidding, I think.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
back. Sorry about the
Hi.
malfunction.
Not my fault.
You can 100% blame Google on this one, I think.
Blame you. Blame you.
I guess blame me. But I
Yeah.
also did fix it, so
So
retribution maybe? Redemption arc. I'm on my redemption arc now.
on the redemption arc,
Yeah.
just like
Thanks
James,
for
you gotta
buying a
pause it
shitty
every once
piece
in a
of
while.
equipment.
Like
expensive shitty piece of equipment.
Well,
just like
write him a
Jamie on
letter.
his redemption arc, you just have to pause it every once in a while.
Right.
So, all right. So, from what I've been told, where we kind of froze off as when I started on my little rant ish thing of in one fell swoop, Tommen pretty much fucked his mom, and basically because Cersei played her hand too early, too quick, of I'm choosing violence, and now Tommen and the Faith know they can't stand toe to toe with the Mountain. At least, yeah, there it's been proven that somebody could, like fucking Martell, but how that's few and far between. The Faith don't have that. So basically, the High Sparrow uses powers to say, you know what? No, because why do the rich people get to just pay somebody to fight for them? You have to stand up for your own, faults and failures and sins. So it does make sense. I do like, Cersei's like, well, shit, and Qyburn's like, yeah, we gotta. Remember what you told me about? Yeah, is there some? Oh yes. Oh yes. That's not going to be good for business. That's not going to be good for anybody.
So I don't ever want to agree with the faith militant. I know you were gonna think I was gonna say you, but that's not where I'm going with this.
I just hate. I don't.
It's a
I hate
running
doing this
joke.
public.
I love it.
In public,
So-
I hate agreeing with Benji.
But agreeing with the faith militant here is rough for me. I mean, then and their stupid facial gougings, ridiculous. But and I'm not against body mortification or whatever the fuck you call it. Some of it's hot as fuck. So whatever. I mean,
It's
you do you.
morphin' time.
Whatever. Like seriously, you do you.
Power
but
Mountain.
this is ridiculous. Boom. I suck on your forehead. But-
Zordon.
So and I'm sorry if you have heard this chat.
Hi.
I think we're going this place because we still talked we got hung up on 3 minutes ago and we're still going waiting for a response. But back when Tyrion pays Braun to do the trial by combat as a first time watcher, then I remember being like, what the fuck is this? Like, not that I thought Tyrion should be thrown out the moon door or whatever. I'm glad he had an out. But like, how is this fair? Was my first reaction, and still now I've kind of just accepted it. Like, it happens, and now I'm pissed it's gone, which is like a weird arc for myself. But at the very first watch of this, I'm like, what? How is this fair? How is this something that is justice? So I don't agree with them, I guess, but it is questionable, like the ethics behind it.
Yeah. And Glenn has a kind of point. I hadn't read your notes at all, but your point kind of goes into that. So
Yeah, you just want me to say my point?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I'll go right ahead. So I think Cersei should have acted, like her right hand man was a weakling instead of the Mountain some powerhouse. If and then like eventually pull the old bait and switch with the Mountain. Like I feel like she was taunting the Mountain around, and playing him as, oh, he's my right hand man, and then he's ripping people's heads off, and then eventually like she's just gonna get fucked over because they're like, okay, so she's definitely gonna try to do a trial by combat. Her champion's definitely gonna be this mongoloid over here.
Het La Montaigne.
Right.
Do you know what's very weird about your point here? Had she not been, I'm really sorry, fandom, such a witch about to Tyrion, he could have helped her. Like Luke would say, she just needed some
He
help.
just needed
This
some
would have
help.
I feel like your take on this is very Tyrion diplomat.
Yeah. Fandom, what's your thoughts on this scene?
So when I saw this scene, I was like, okay, it's kind of like Cersei's like giving everyone's like a chance, like, yo, you better side with me now or die. And
Mhm.
it's like, oh, so you didn't bother to like tell me about this royal announcement or anything? Then he tells her now. He's like, okay, you're gonna, walk and like stand by her, son. And he's like, where you going? He's like, I'm gonna stay with my son. Like, no, you're gonna stay with the other ladies of the court. I was like, damn. I think that was pretty much his last chance of like living, if possible. But okay, then we hear about the trial by combat thing, which it's kind of understandable. It's like, okay, you're pretty much just buying your way out of this. So it's like, okay, I can get it, but at the same time, it's like, damn, it's like I've been waiting for, okay, who's gonna be the idiot to actually go and fight the mountain and die, but now we don't get that fight again. So I'm like, damn. Even then, it's like I don't think we're ever gonna get anything better besides the mountain versus anyone besides Oberyn, and then the Hound if we ever gonna get that. So it's like, all right. And
Yeah.
then we hear about the whole thing with Qyburn. It's like, oh, it's about the rumor situation, and it's true. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's interesting here.
Exactly. So it'd be interesting where it goes. Ab.
So first of all, I'm looking for my note. No, here it is. I do really wonder about what is the Marjorie Tommen game plan here. Like, I get they're siding with the faith to keep them, like, keep good faith with them. But where's the exit? What is the end game plan for them? I don't know anymore. Like, I have put so much stock in Marjorie and
Mhm.
her having a good head on her shoulders. Like, right now, when I think about, okay, there's no trial by combat. Do you know what I think? Cersei's gonna be fine. Spoiler alert for a little later when I make predictions. She's gonna be just fine. Something's gonna happen, whatever. Like, because she is fierce and she's not going to be taken down. Like, she's just not. Um, but as far as Marjorie, up until this point, I was like, girl, you are playing this right. You have this, like, you are toe to toe with this powerhouse and you're doing great. But at this point, like, where
You're
the
doing
fuck
great,
do they
girl.
go?
You're doing great, girl. You're
You're
showing your Chloe, Ab.
yeah, you're doing good.
That's
You're
my
doing real good.
goodie.
Yes.
my Gertie.
That's-
This fall on the CW.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I just like, what is the thought? I can't even come up in my mind how you get out of this. Further thoughts on this scene is, why does Tommen have a Bambi crown? Like, it feels like
The
You mean
great,
that wimpy deer?
the great Bambi.
yes. Like, why? He's not doing himself. It's like perched up on his head. Like, oh man, we just really, everybody hates Tommen, I think, and he's so coachable.
He's just
he could
so
be likable.
Oh, so coachable.
Yeah,
Another
but
key word.
Ab,
man.
okay, in defense of the
Buzzword.
crown, that is actually the same. It might not be the same exact crown, but the same style that Robert had, that Renly had.
Okay, but it didn't look the same. Why does it look like a baby crown
because
here?
he's
It looks like
the
it's
baby's
crocheted.
wearing it. Because the
It
baby's
looks-
wearing it.
Oh man, it's just
You got to have the antlers.
he's such a cute. I mean, I don't really know how old he is here in real life, but he's a cute, likable person in just I don't know, terrible.
Ab,
And then
each Baratheon has had an antler crown
Okay,
like this. Like
but-
even Renly.
But actually, I don't
Even
believe
Renly.
Joffrey. I think Joffrey's was not crowned. Was not a stag horn. I think his was just a pointed crown.
I think I see what Abby's saying. It's kind of, I mean, it's like a little like
You've
small
got,
little
like,
points. It's not really
a
like
7-point buck. You've
a
got all these. He
stank,
has like
yeah.
a -12 buck. Okay, like
It's like little sticks or something that they glued
This
together.
is the knobs. It's the
Little
first year their
pretzels.
knobs came out.
Little
Like,
pretzel sticks.
yes, it's just sad. We couldn't have got him more antlery looking crowns. I don't know.
I'm still in that until Tommen looks like a deer in headlights.
Yes. Oh man, poor
A
guy.
baby deer in headlights.
Yes, he's
You mean
just
that
a
wimpy penis.
baby. And
The dingo ate your bye.
oh, I don't really. Sorry, I had one more point, but
Was it a buck?
wh-
Was it one of the buck points?
nah. Who knows? Oh, what
Was
Benji was
it
saying.
7 point?
Nope, it wasn't 7 points because I would never
7-pointed
tattoo
buck
or
star.
put that on my forehead, you
Hmm.
dummies. But
Swagger.
so
7
this
points as a
thing
buck.
at the very towards the end where we're asking about rumors, is it true? And he's like, yes. And
Yes.
yeah, it's like
Oh
more.
yes.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
you said,
God, yeah.
Benj, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you spoiled me or whatever. But you said, yes, there's more, there's some, or something like that.
He just said
I don't.
much more.
There's much more. Yes. So the guy says there's much more. I'm a little confused. Like, what the
Good.
fuck are we talking about? So that was my last thought about it. Like, ooh, okay, see, Cersei's gonna be fine. She's fine.
So Abby, to answer that question, it's more of Cersei Funko Pops. You can always find them at every store that probably sells Funko Pops. Just ask to tell her, hey, you got those Cersei Funkos? They got you. They got
I
you. Just
only
say my
buy
name. Just say
I,
those fandom send you. Fandom send you. And they're like, okay. They get a fresh box and bam.
I like a 15% discount. Oh, cool. I'll
Yep.
get one.
So, all right. Have you always wanted to show your house dog pride, or maybe get yourself a coffee mug for Black Mead? Or, you know what? It's dangerous to drink alone, so make sure you get a mug with that fine sigil on it.
You're jumping ahead of things. That's next episode.
I
They're-
don't care.
They're set up, man. You're killing it.
I didn't even know that's what you said on that.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't looked ahead.
Just keep
Sorry. Well, you can find these more at T Public Merch Store, the podcast that.com/support us, or T Public Stores.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Those are just to put in the
okay, fair enough. The podcast
HTTPS.
that.com/support us,
:
or come to our
/
YouTube channel and click on the link that Luke's putting in the chat right now.
Yeah, failing
You can
out.
find everything with our sigils, our funny things, some great stuff from San Rixian that she did up for us. You can get your Patchy Wise, which is the mix of Pennywise and
You're still
Patchface.
jumping ahead. That's 2 episodes from now. I've got all these promos written up, and you're spoiling it. Just go
Easy.
there and see what we have.
Just
there.
read
Just
what's
let
on
it-
the paper.
Just go.
Just read what's on the paper. All right.
You need to
anyway.
go there and support House Condescension. It's got
Yeah,
a bird on
Abby,
it. It's a
you're-
raven, and that's
Pull
what
the
she
plug
likes.
again.
No,
Where's
you're
that
not pulling the
where's that
plug. They're gonna
router?
buy more of my shirts than yours because y'all suck. But I'm cool.
If Glenn was doing this, it just would have been read the way it was written. If you put it on
Ron,
the
Ron
teleprompter.
Burgundy reads whatever's on the teleprompter.
Anyway,
Damn it, who put
go
a
to the
question mark on the
podcastthat.com/support us. You can find all the links to help us kind of just give us a hand to keep the show going. We give all you love for helping us out with it. Thank you. All right.
And we got
Moving
all
on.
of our
Oh, it would
Valyrian
have been
swords.
funnier if you said something about Jamie Lannister.
You could give us a hand. Unfortunately,
Jamie.
T-Public doesn't make golden hands for us, branded hands.
Speaking of giving us a hand, we're going to River Run with Jamie, Brienne, Pod, and Braun.
He segged his way over there.
You kind of, I had it in the line, but
Sorry.
you had to undercut me. That's all right. I undercutted Luke's promos, so that's okay. We got Brienne arrives at River Run and completes her vow to the Kingslayer. Bronn gives Pod a lesson. Who the hell did I start with? I started with Abby on the last one, right?
You start with
No,
me,
start with
me-
Luke.
you
I
went
go
with me
this
last
one.
time.
Yep. So first thing to do, everyone wants to hit a squire, which that's very true. You know what? It doesn't matter if you're a knight, a king, a common street sweeper. Sooner or later, you're gonna fucking slap a pod. But
Slap
at
a
least
pod.
half of ice now is guaranteed to the Starks as of this moment. We know there's,
Half ice.
we got because after Jamie and Brienne have their meeting and everything, she tries to give him the sword back, and he's like, "No, that's yours." But at least now we know at least half of ice is going back to the Starks, hopefully. But it's meant to defend the North, so I like that. Glenn,
Yeah, basically, this here, the School of Hard Knocks, as Braun teaches Pod, always keep your head on a swivel, expect the unexpected. We've seen this with other people. I think recently Braun and Jamie kind of teaching, the dirty side of fighting, I think John with Carl Tanner as well, where it's not the most honorable, one-on-one combat, but it's effective if you want to win. So I think that's what he's trying to teach Pod here, that he probably hasn't really learned, at least yet, with Brienne.
I have always really liked Ron, even when Luke was giving him hate about singing. I loved that too. But here for some reason, I think it's just because it's Pod. I'm like, oh, Braun, like it's a little much. Like it's the first time I've gotten a Braun, it's a little much feeling, and another like Pod with the magic golden whimsical cock. Like I'm like,
Golden
okay,
Rod.
like
Golden
yeah,
Rod
the
pod.
golden. You're right. That would have been funnier. Fine, bench, you win.
Charlie and the Chocolate Cock.
Yeah, like I'm just like okay,
Tripod,
when
the horse slayer.
and I love Braun. I love Pod. I don't know if it's just because I think highly of Pod and I well, I guess I think highly of Jamie, but having somebody kind of like knock Jamie back and forth is easier on me. But this was my first. It's a little much, Braun. That's all.
A little much.
Yeah.
A little much.
Fandom, what's your thoughts?
So one, I was kind of happy to see this, Braun and Pod reunion here. I'm like, yes, I kind of like these people, when it came to like Tyrion, Braun, and Pod. So I was like, come on now, Dan and Dave, like get Tyrion to come back and have the trio once more. I'll be happy again. But also I kind of liked, him teaching him a little bit, some dirty fighting, because hey, like when it's war, everyone's gonna try to find a way to kill you. It's either gonna be, the honorable way or the dirty way. So good thing he's teaching them.
Exactly, Abby.
So I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Start them off.
Because-
I'll be back.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for letting me ramble. I like in this scene that I feel that Brienne sees Jamie as he could be. Not necessarily as he is or he's going to be, but the man Jamie really could be. That is how Brienne sees him through her rose-colored glasses, I guess. I also think I should find my notes here. I found it a little bit strange, not really because it's Brienne and she's honest and she's honorable, but she walks in there and is like, "Look, we're gonna go up to the Boltons and we're gonna take it back." Like, okay, let's just tell the Lannisters that. Great plan. What the fuck? Like, I get that it's in line with her character, who she is, but really, like, I don't know.
Charlie and the
It seemed
Chocolate Cock.
strange to me.
Sorry,
And I'll
we're a
keep-
little distracted by the chat. Sorry.
It's okay.
We
I'll just keep
apologize.
talking here.
You're doing
So,
you're doing great.
That was a
bud.
great joke.
You're doing great.
Chloe, where are you at, girl? I need some help. I'm feeling insignificant.
Abby just needs some help.
I just need a little help.
Sorry, Alicia
Um,
Kingston just kind of broke us a little bit with a comment. She made a Charlie and the Chocolate Cock reference in the chat.
Perfect.
So.
So my other thoughts about the scene, I also, when I was going through this little group of scenes here together, but a lot happens. We have Brienne. What I love about her is that, oh man, like Pod gets a little nervous up front. Like at the very beginning, he's like, my lady, or whatever he calls her.
Sir,
Like,
my lady.
My lady.
Yeah, like there's fucking dudes coming. Like they're coming at you. And she's like, tell them I need to speak with Jamie. I have a sword. Like, and she does it in a way that I find so admirable. She has such confidence and portrays such confidence without being arrogant, which I think is a very, I don't even know, like, it's just not common. A lot of times when you have extreme confidence in yourself, it's over cocky or it's arrogant, but she can back it up. And what are they going to do to her? Kill her? Like, at which point she was doing her lady's work, so she'll be okay. Like, and like she will feel okay about it. At the end of the day, this is worth it or worthy. I just find Brienne so remarkable. And we end this scene with that dreaded relationship where do we stand talk. It's awkward. Like, here's your stuff back. I know we like haven't seen each other in a couple months. Here's your sweatshirt. No, you can keep the sweatshirt, but I don't want the sweatshirt because then it'll remind me of
Yeah,
you.
here's your
Like,
CDs.
yeah, your CDs are back. Like, I don't want it
All
in my
those-
car
all
anymore.
Give me
those
my
burnt-
goddamn Letterman
those burnt
jacket.
CDs that we made together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's true.
it's
You put
it's
all
dreaded.
those songs by Ed Sheeran on there.
And you
I
didn't
never
wanna put
wanted
'em on.
that.
Oh,
I
come
never
on.
wanted
Why they gotta
that.
bring up Ed?
But
Too soon. That is too soon.
but yeah, I don't know. Like, she just is very remarkable to me.
Sure.
More and more I get to meet or see Brienne, I'm just awed by her grace and strength and confidence, all while being able to back it up without being a total cunt about it. Not because she's a girl.
Exactly. No, completely fair. Luke, finish us off for this one.
What did I say about this? Did I
Noth-
hate
probably
on
nothing
Bronn?
good,
It's
but
probably
yeah,
a
go
bad
for it.
note. Probably a bad note.
No.
Oh, just Pod. It looks like a siege. You have a keen military mind, Pod. Like it's. I like Pod. I like when he gets cut down to size a little bit. He is like the most humble guy about, right? And he's just doing a good job. He's just trying his best. And, like people just
Practices every
consistently-
day.
He just consistently gets shit on. Like no matter who he's working for or with, it's like Pod can never do well enough.
Those were the cooks.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from dem hoers, but you know, like I just like I like the dynamic that he's able to let it not affect him, his
think it's kinda-
mentality. He's resilient in himself in that he knows what he's doing is right. And yeah, he might seem a little like the way he was saying looks like a siege is a bit of a Mace Tyrell type comment, I guess. And she calls him out on it. And but guess what? He learns from that. He
And he'll
actually
lear-
does learn
Exact-
from it.
But
he
it's
learns better from negative reinforcement. Like I truly feel that he makes a mistake, he won't make that mistake again. If he's told you made a mistake, you need to fix that. He's going to fix it, and he won't make that mistake again. But if you could pray, I'm sure if somebody actually praised Pod, like when people have praised Pod, like when Tyrion did,
He's
was
just
like,
confused.
I don't know what to do. this is not normal to me. I don't.
They
know.
I
gave me the money
see-
back. What?
I
Yeah.
see him differently than that, but
See,
I get
mean,
what you're saying. I just think that he would take praise or whatever. He takes it humbly. So when you give, like, he's fun to pick on. I'm sorry to pull out a family thing here. Our mother, you're just fun to pick on.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh yeah.
one of her favorite sayings, and it's her.
No,
It really
and
is.
that's the thing is Pod, he understands that, and
Ex-
he's learned from that, and that's how that's how he's always been. He's the one that makes it easy to be picked on, and so he learns from it and
He knows
goes with it.
it's in a loving way. Again, for my mother, Abby, I pick on you in a loving way. I don't know. Whatevs. Sorry, Pod.
Out of the
Just-
family here, so I get it.
You are?
Kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh shit! Look at this podcast. I get called out on all my random bullshit. So it's all good. Daily, weekly. And I love you guys for it. So I learn. So, all right. Anybody got anything else on the first part of this river run scene?
Nope.
Yes, we're talking about Jamie and Brienne here as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they kind of talk about. I mean, this is kind of like a theme in their conversation here. They talk about there's emotions in it, and there's duty in it, and there's politics in it, and like those three things just do not match. It seems like they could, but they fundamentally don't, and that's a big thing between the two of them. I mean, they have emotions built up between the two of them. They each have their own sense of duty, and I think their sense of duty is all pretty close. I feel like in the true scheme of things, their sense of duty is right on par with each other, which is kind of how
Right.
if you're
and
a
it is.
shipper at all, that's what they've connected on. Like that's the thing they respect each other for. Is whenever Brienne learned that he killed King Aerys out of duty to save the realm, essentially, at least King's Landing, 500,000 people, but the politics involved here kind of prevent them from actually being able to be on the same side, and they have duty to their own allegiances, and that's kind of
but
where it's
even
all
Jamie
just
has
so
said-
complicated.
Yeah, but even Jamie has shown that, yeah, okay, I'm going to bend a little bit. If you can convince the Blackfish to go north with you, fuck yeah. go ahead. Even though you're going against the Bannermen that we have chosen as the Lannisters, choice for holding the North, you're going to go against the Boltons. But if you can convince them of it, I'll let you do that. That's completely fair. And so that's showing a bit of growth and a bit of, just understanding and politicking on his side, because he realizes that, yeah, even if the Starks take over, take back Winterfell and everything, maybe him and Brienne or him and whoever can, come to some sort of agreement, in the long run of let's not,
Ah,
let's squash this shit as we can.
it kills me when she says, like, thank you or goodbye or whatever it is that as they're parting, and she calls him Sir Jamie. Like,
And Lady Brienne.
and lady, like, it literally makes my heart like goo. I'm like, I just want you two to kiss and be in love. Like,
Yeah,
you love each other. You love each other.
Do they know how to
Why?
kiss? They should have a
I
scene where they learn how
they
to
should
kiss
Glenn,
or
you're
something
right.
like that.
Let's do like a yeah.
Does Braun need to teach them both?
Yeah, with his thumb up somebody's butt. That would be
I'm about to
Braun.
That'd
But
say that.
That'd be classy.
Hey, Jamie's got that golden hand to just.
yeah, but
All right.
like it literally makes me turn whatever it is between them. And I don't know if I want them in a relationship or I do, or I can't even tell you what I actually feel about them. It makes me gooey inside and I just aw.
It makes me gooey
It
inside.
does. I'm just like, oh, they're so cute.
All right, Abby. Here, I'm pitching the next HBO show for you. Okay,
Mhm.
just from this point right now, this episode alone, we're just
Yep.
stopping Game of Thrones right now.
Okay.
Jamie and Brienne as hedge knights, just traveling around, working together.
All the goo.
Just all the goo inside you, everything you've ever
They
wanted.
stumble across the Hound and Arya just
And
prancing
they
around
just-
Dorne.
No. Oh no, Arya, not Arya. Sansa and the Hound with him protecting Sansa. Yeah, man. Oh,
and
yeah.
Arya's just hanging out.
No, Arya's just being a badass protecting all of them.
So what is this? This is basically
All
a
right.
sequel with all the storylines that you want to see.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
just
It's
let's.
a choose your own adventure book, okay?
Careful, don't get copyrighted.
Yeah, no copyrights. We appreciate you. We're not trying to.
We're gonna
That
call
was a thing
Arya
recently, wasn't it?
Arian.
With
with the
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, all right. We're gonna move on from the first scene of River Run. We're gonna move to the next with Brienne potting the blackfish. The obsidian guppy turns down the looker's offer. Glenn, go ahead.
So, like as Brienne's talking to the blackfish, and he's like, your friend over there, is telling you all this shit or whatever, and she's like, we are not friends, and he's like, yeah, you are, and he like points out all these things at how they could be friends or probably are friends, and like it's just one point where he's just like, I'm not gonna take look. This is probably a big trap that you're probably set me into. Like, you're probably in cahoots with him, so why do I need to listen to you? Like, and
You
then
can't find us. You're
at
too
the same
stupid to
time,
be
like
here.
she wants them to like kind of abandon the castle, and he's like, that just sounds exactly like what they want to happen,
Yeah.
How
No,
how fortuitous,
Yeah. Oh, so he's
How
gonna let me
how
leave so he can have my
fortuitous.
fucking home. Okay, cool.
Let's
fandom.
send a messenger in.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the back and forth. I was just like, man, just take the goddamn letter already, man. Just open it up. See, yeah, Sansa needs you. Then you're just gonna go, and we're gonna have Edmure, at pretty much. I forgot. No, at Winterfell, right? No, Winterfell. Excuse me, Castle Black. Everyone's planning on taking place back from the Boltons, but then he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, what? And to this day, I'd be like pissed off, like, come on, he could have just went there. All could have been well. But as
Yeah.
I always like rewatch it, I'm like, you know what? I get why he stayed. Tagging the castle and whatnot. That's his character spec. And two, it's like that's not really his battle. This is his battle, and he's gonna finish it to the end. So I'm like, okay, and now I respect. Again, just proving the fact that this is the only Tully that mattered on the show.
Yeah.
Forget, Eliza and Kat.
Absolutely agree.
This is
No,
the Tully that mattered.
Absolutely do not, but it's okay. I'll continue to just speak here quietly.
Wait, you're talking about Blackfish, right? You're talking about,
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
Abby. They're not
Blackfish
talking about Edmure.
Yeah,
the
no,
only Tully that mattered on this show,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
Yes.
Girl for
Catelyn
me.
mattered.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she really
she was a
Oh,
Stark.
yeah.
No.
Abby, you and I will
Okay.
defend Catelyn.
She gave up.
You
her
guys
Tully
can
To the
defend
dignity.
Catelyn,
death.
but I'm not gonna fight you right now on it because we're running, you know. So, but
And you'll be
I
wrong,
agree
and
with
that's
you
okay.
entirely, fandom. Abby, go ahead with your thoughts on Blackfish, Brienne, and Pod.
So I noticed there's a line in here that he says, like the exact line is, "I've run before. I'm not running again." I I thought he was peeing. So I'm confused if that was just meant like after I happened to just have to go to the bathroom and get out of the hall, like I ran, or did he see something and literally ran from the fight?
Well, he went to
It's
take a piss, saw the fighting, and jumped in the river. And basically, he fought his way out. I shouldn't say
oh,
jumped in the river.
maybe
He
I
fought his
forgot.
way out. He
Okay,
fought his
maybe
way
I
out
forgot.
and jumped in the river and swam.
It's kind of not really shown at all. We just hear about it.
Okay,
That's
maybe
it.
I missed that. Like he kind of gotten okay.
Yeah, no,
He
it's
took
literally
he took
like
a piss.
he went to go take a piss, and we
And
just don't
realized-
hear about him again until basically
Okay.
last or 2 episodes ago, where Walder Frey was sitting there being like, "You didn't lose the
Oh,
castle; it was taken
yes.
from you, and
Yes.
you lost the Blackfish when he escaped at the Red Wedding." That's the only.
Okay.
That's the first time it's been brought back up.
Yes.
Well, just that line right there
Right, because he was supposed to
struck
be a
me-
sitting duck as well.
just struck me as like, oh, I saw something and I ran. Like I was like, hold on, wait. I thought it just was like a happenstance. He was out of there. So I'm glad because I did not want to like alter my view completely on the Blackfish over that one tiny line in there. And then my other thought about this is he also says in here, if talking about Brienne's father, I've met him. If he were here now, I would tell him the same thing I am telling you. I really appreciate that the Blackfish isn't just like, you're some stupid girl who doesn't know what they're talking about. Like, he validates Brienne's strength, and it has nothing to do with this being a different or out of the norm person approaching him. He's saying, no matter who you are, I'm staying here to fight, which he's protecting his home. I can respect that. Do I like it? No, because I'd love him to help Sansa in the North. But I respect him, and I respect him even further because he's not looking at Brienne laughing like she's laughable.
Right, like all of the other men in her life have done. He basically just says, "I know your father is a good man," and like he doesn't really say one way or the other. It doesn't seem to be like a woman in man's armor. Like what the fuck? Like that's not really a sticking point. It's more of like I'm accepting you for the role that you're playing right now, and that's just
you're probably
it.
yeah, like
That's
you
just
brought me
it.
this letter. Here's the actual facts. I don't know Sansa. I haven't seen her in years. I don't know her seal or what her handwriting would look like. Here are all these reasons, and this is my home, and I'm going to stay here and fight. And to me, do I wish he would have made a different choice? Yes. But none of it was done out of spite for anybody else. So the Blackfish goes down, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
So, all right, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to take back her home. I understand that, but this is my home. Like he's not wrong. Like, yeah, we want him to go and help. And by the end of it, I don't want to give anything away, but he doesn't go. He stays. But he's completely right in the decisions that he makes. Like that's he completely wants to help Sansa. I think he has every intention of wanting to, but he's the only one apparently that wants to save Riverrun and for everything that matters for this ancient house. It's not ancient like all of the other ones are because the Riverlands are kind of tossed back and forth. It's like the middle ground. It gets handed back and forth all the time, but still they've had it for a couple hundred years, and he can see this happening. He's been the one person that's called Edmure out on all of this stupid shit that he's done.
He couldn't even fucking fire
the arrow,
goddamn arrow
for his own
Here,
father.
let me take care of that, you
And
boy.
that's the greatest introduction to two characters we could have gotten.
And
was
it comes to fruition here is the Blackfish is worth something and Edmure really isn't. And it's just it sucks that
And it
he's
goes
the only one that knows that,
and it
and the
plays
only one
into
that
the
stands
name
up.
thing and everything. And we'll get into that in, a couple scenes here. But no, I agree entirely, Luke, with you. And my note on this was she's taken this failure in a way easier stride because she's like, we need to get to the maester. We need to send a letter to Sansa. What do you want to read, my lady or sir? Uh, I failed. And it was just simple. Like we've seen her fail before. We saw her fail Cat, and we saw her fail Renly. And she gets heartbroken by it, but she's taken this one in stride because she knows there's nothing I can do on this one. He's right. He's
Uh, that
there's nothing I can. I failed in the attempt, but
And she respects where he's like,
yes,
that's the thing. Like she has the duty and she understands his duty. I'm gonna keep saying duty because, poop talk.
duty.
And it's because that's right, her character. She's like, I tried and
Because
he
she
has
would make
made his decision and I respect that.
if somebody was sieging Tarth, if somebody was coming after her home, her father's place, and her father was gone.
Sapphire.
That's that
Sapphire.
If somebody was, she would make the same choice for the most part. I think, like, if she was in Blackfish's shoes, if she was in her shoes where she still has to go defend Sansa
Blackfish's
and everything,
fins.
she would actually probably choose to defend Sansa, who she swore her sword and shield to, over defending Tarth because she made that choice. But if she didn't have that oath to Sansa, she would make the choice that Blackfish did. So she respects it. I'm just that was my note with it. Is she's taking it in stride, and that's better than what we've seen her do in the past with
well,
other
it's not
failures.
because I feel like she doesn't feel like she was lacking or something.
No,
Like there was a she has done everything. It had nothing to
exactly.
do with who she was or
No,
her personal. Like
and
she's like, there's nothing we could have done,
yeah,
so we
and
failed,
I want
or
to
I
say as
failed.
Luke said, but I forget who made the comment, but he treated her like an equal.
Mhm.
Blackfish didn't talk down to her because she was a woman. Didn't talk down to her because anything. He just said no because I can't. And she didn't get that feeling of, oh, I'm being talked down to because now I'm a woman in this aspect. Or it was an equal, just platonic
I
split, like a very
would also like to
amicable. That's the word I'm
point
thinking
out that I don't feel like Brienne feels or has that like, oh, because I'm a woman, I failed. I feel like she comes from a point of
Yeah,
like when she does fail, when Brienne does fail, like she comes from the point very hard on herself of had I been a man, Sansa would have done better. Like she puts that guilt on herself, and here that was lifted from her, and I
exactly.
appreciate that from the Blackfish.
No, absolutely. And that's kind of exactly where my point was
Yep.
going with it. So, all right.
Agreed.
So we're gonna move on to the next scene in River Run. We got Jamie and Edmure, Abby's favorite captive. They talk
Mhm.
about their sisters and the lengths they're willing to go. Fandom. Go and start us off.
So well, I'm probably have to look at my notes for this one, but yeah, I think this is with Amir and Jamie,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
Where it's like in previous scene we got Brienne and Jamie talking. It's like, dude, remember, got this redemption arc here. Don't forget it. He's like, yeah, I know. And then next thing we have this scene where it's like, yo, I got this catapult. It needs to be filled. If you don't do as I say, and I'm just like, damn. Just damn. I remember watching it the first time around with my mom, so I'd pretty much be watching it like the first time ever with every other season. She's the one to start me on it. She's like, okay, good. I'm finally, liking, the character of Jamie. And then this situation happened. She's like, let him die. Just let him die at this point. But it really was just crazy seeing though.
Abby.
Hmm.
Good
So
point, Ab. You bring a lot to the team right now.
you're a fine-looking man. Um, Jamie, is he hitting on you? Hmm. Okay, so Jaime. Take it from Jamie. Fucking kill him now. Like,
You're
what the
pulling
fuck is
context clues on on
what
Tobias
the
Menzies' other character that you know him as again.
what
Yeah.
the
In
So
fuck
scenes that
is
he's
this
with.
guy's obsession with Jamie's?
so
It's a
okay, really
Jamie
Please of
thing.
the world.
really quick to people in the chat not in the know. Abby is very much a fan and follower of Outlander, which you can find another podcast of ours, the podcast that fights in F
It's
words,
in the works, but yeah.
in the
I mean,
works.
there's one out.
There's one
Yeah,
out.
if there's one out, it's covering the Outlander series.
We've also been
and
probing it like
Edmure
since we started
played
this show.
I know. I'm sorry.
utter shitbag in this show. So as soon as she saw Edmure in season 3,
And he missed that fucking shot. Fucking worthless.
yeah,
Done.
and she was done. She was like, "Fuck this, I'm out." So anything Edmure related, it's like, okay, I give thumbs up because he is pretty much worthless. Anyway, so
Yeah. I mean, and great job, Tovis Mendez. I'm sure I would like you as a person, but I hate you. Like, I just can't even. Oh, gross. And then he goes on to say, something about like, believe we are decent. How do you believe you're. Do you really love her that much, bro, Jamie? Like, ugh. Like, it just, ugh.
yeah,
Fine. And lastly, on this, as much as I hate this, piece of trash, this scene to me is very, very good. And the way Jamie like just commands this conversation, not overly doing it or overly forcing it, but definitely inserting himself like, bitch, I'm in charge without being too much, is the Jamie that I have started to just really, really love. And then we get pulled right back, or it's just this tug of war with him being like, but I love Cersei.
yeah.
Ugh. That's all.
I think the battle you're fighting in yourself is the same battle he's fighting in
Mhm.
him, and that is a sign of a actually well written thing where you're like, ah, come, and he's still fighting it too.
Yep.
But Luke, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically touch on a comment that Abby just made, and it's you understand at some level you're an evil man, right? Like he's just like, you get this, right? Like we all have to go home and live with ourselves is kind of what Edmure's telling Jamie, and he's kind of calling him out like you've done some evil things regardless of how you think, like however you justify it in your head. And I think that's a pretty valid point because we know he's done even more evil things than
The
what
common.
like what the press release would know about, right? That's
But you would
one of the
think,
keywords for this episode right now.
you would
But
think Edmure would know that he
About
admitted to Catelyn that he shoved Bran from the window.
Uh,
So Edmure knows,
maybe, but
maybe.
maybe not, because things moved pretty quickly around then. But yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah,
See,
that's fair.
The thing with him is he justifies a lot of the stuff that he does by, oh, it was the right thing to do
Mm-hmm.
and shit like
the
that.
thing to do for love, it's
Yeah,
and he kind
exactly.
of brings that up, in this in this scene, and my note early, like I said earlier, the pause in the redemption arc of Luke. This is where I kind of got the idea from. It. This is a pause in the redemption arc of Jamie because he's like, I will send for your boy. And I will launch him from a catapult against the fucking walls because nothing matters to me more than getting back to my sister. I will do whatever it takes to get this castle
do you know it's so bad? That did not even affect me at all. Like I could care less about that poor baby
but
in general. Yeah.
but think about what he said last episode. If you make a threat, you have to follow through on it.
Except that we saw he gave this lecture about making threats, and we saw him threat the
Threaten the High Sparrow.
Yeah, fuck you. I already called you out on that, Jamie. Like this is my internal struggle
I
with
get
Jamie.
that, and true,
Like,
but and fair.
I've seen
Okay,
empty threats.
he has done empty threats, but that one he did a threat, and then he realized, okay, can't win this one. All right, fine.
So
Back
Pussy
off.
out.
to
But
Yeah.
finish
he
my
can make
my
this
original
threat and
thought.
follow through on this without an issue. Just like
Well, you
yeah,
make
and so it's one
yes.
of those weird ones where you make a threat, but if you can follow through on it, fucking follow through on it. If things change after you make the threat,
Self-preserve.
You follow through on it.
it's self-preservation.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
agree, Bench. Like I don't think that's an
I know
easy
what
choice.
but I
But
know where you're coming from with
to
it. So
finalize my thought,
Alright.
he basically Edmure questions Jamie, and he's like, "How do you convince yourself that you're decent?" He just again calls him out. He's like, "How do you go home and live with yourself knowing these things? Like, yeah, the love of your sister and all this, but like at some point, it has to wear on you." And Abby's made a lot of good points, and your points are completely valid in going along with this show is what I'll say. Some of the confusion you have about Jamie's character is very valid, and I'll leave it at that. But just know that you're not alone in in some of the confusion that you're kind
Yeah.
of bringing to the table here.
Yeah. So Glenn, go ahead. I just went with my note undercut and Luke. So
Sure. So, basically, like, yeah, we see Jamie talking, passionate here about Cersei. Usually their relationship has seemed to be kind of kept secret. I think now that he's not in King's Landing, I think he's, and then definitely in a power position. I think he's more open to, kind of talk about, or just not a care about talking about, their relationship, even though everyone already fucking knows. But at the same time, like, he's
just kind of wearing on his sleeve at this point. He's like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of fighting that battle. Like
Right.
there are other things we need to worry about.
I'm not in the lion's den or whatever in King's Landing, having to to deal with the wrath if it would come to be. But now that I'm kind of in this position that I am, I can say whatever the fuck I want, and I can end this argument.
You know what? And I like that he calls him out. He's like, you know what? You're my prisoner. You're gonna listen to me say what I'm gonna say here because what are you gonna do about it?
And he kind of makes the parallels of Cersei and Catelyn, and it kind of like almost discuss Edmure a little bit or whatever. It's like he's like, oh, don't do that. Like, don't compare Cersei to Catelyn.
Yeah, let's not do that. Like,
yeah, we all know Cersei's way better. So, and speaking of which, fandom, you can finish this off for the scene.
Okay, am I like buffering or anything? Because like on my side, it's like
you sound great. You're coming through.
I sound
perfect
great.
side.
So
You're
can you
sounding
say the
good.
question again? Because like
So no, we're on the Jamie Edmure scene, and I was saying there's no comparison. Cersei's way better than Catelyn, and I do stand
of
by
course by
And-
over
and-
9,000 is
that.
really
And that
you just
leads
have
me,
to.
and that led me into introducing your thoughts.
I swear I did say my thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Oh, did I start with you on this one? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, have
Oh,
more
yeah, yeah,
thoughts.
I
Have
did.
more thoughts. You're put on the spot now. No.
No, I
Okay
apologize.
then.
I was one clicked over. I'm sorry. So I will move along to the final scene of River Run then. We will go with Jaime, Edmure, Blackfish, Brienne, and Pod. Edmure is allowed to enter River Run, where he promptly orders the men to lay down their arms in capture of his uncle. Brienne flees from the portcullis, but Blackfish stays and fights. Abby.
What a cunt.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Like, what a spineless, self-serving piece of shit. And what does he think from here?
Okay, in fairness, in this one, I will defend. He is protecting his son.
Who gives a fuck about, like, he's going to destroy his entire house. And you think that Jaime Lannister is going to catapult your son over? So you say no. Kill me. Kill yourself. Like,
But that's the thing. He's not going to kill him. He's going to kill his fucking son. He's going to kill the fucking child. And as I'm
no,
sorry,
I get it. Okay.
He's never
Pull
met
out the
the
mom
son,
card,
though.
the dad card. Like, you
It's-
do.
How does he know it was born?
Abby, the Tully house words are family, duty, honor.
Be honored. Exactly.
He's
Yeah,
he's
so I-
literally fulfilling those promises right now.
yeah, I mean, it sucks. And yeah, he's pussing out to a point because he could let the siege go on for 2 years and all that, but it's I can't entirely fault him on this action. It sucks, but I can't fault him.
Can I just follow up Abby's comment with mine?
Yep.
Edmure sucks. Like
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I mean it's a total bitch move. It's the easy choice, right? I mean, and it's the personal choice. It's not the what's good for the the overall house choice, which is what we saw Blackfish arguing for. And even in this thing, he's like, "Don't open that fucking gate. Like, don't open that gate." Because you know what, and whoever this master at arms is, unnamed man on screen right now, he's like, that's my liege lord, and he's like, yeah, I know, but those aren't his orders. Those are coming from the fucking Kingslayer. Like that is not really the order of Edmure Tully, son of Hoster Tully. That is the those are coming from the son of Tywin Lannister. Like this is a bad idea, and guess who was right? The Blackfish was right.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
it
you
was
just
absolutely
gets
right.
played like a
Always right.
fiddle. Like I just can't stand it. Like I don't ever want anything to happen to my children, but they're just going to continue to do this over and over and over again to this guy, and hope is crippling. Like,
So
it's just
so the worst fault here is actually on this guy
I
because they could
agree.
have let they could have let
yes.
Edmure
This
stay,
Alexi Laos looking
stay out
motherfucker.
there. Hey, let me in. I'm the Lord.
Alexia.
And they don't let him in,
Yeah.
and then fucking, Jamie's like, well, I can't fucking just send his kid. And then the play is, okay, fine. Edmure tried, he failed. You can't hold his kid accountable because they won't listen. So this guy's at fault for being a dumbass for not listening to the Blackfish. So and so that's kind of where I go with the worst
I
of this scene is this guy.
feel like it would have been really good if not Edmure, the Blackfish had to pee sometime soon. Here, I would have
Every
really
time
liked that.
he just has to pee whenever
Right.
something bad's gonna happen.
It actually reminds me of a Rick and Morty episode. I just needed to have level 9 access. I'm gonna go take a shit. He just like essentially like walks off. He's like, I'm gonna go take a shit.
Right.
Like, I think it could have just solved a lot of problems in this scene. He's an older gentleman, it just shoot.
I gotta pee. I
Yeah.
broke the seal. Yeah.
So my only note on this scene are it's I love the line towards the end of it where he's Blackfish to Brienne's like, it's been years since I've had a proper sword fight. Suppose I'll make a fool of myself. Kind of not a nod, but an echo of Davos a few episodes ago where he's like,
Mhm.
I've never been much of a swordsman. I apologize for what you're gonna see. I kind of like that little echo there.
Not much
But
of a
it's
hunter.
like
Perhaps I can get
really,
some mutton.
Edmure. I mean, even Jaime has said that you would have been one of the top 5 people in the realm that could have beaten him in a fight in your primes. When they're two-handed, in your primes, you could have at least taken out 15 weasel frays on your way out. So don't apologize for that, or don't feel bad about even in your old age. You're taking out 15 of those fucking McPoils, which cheers to you for it,
McPoiling.
Glenn.
Yeah, all I do is drink milk. Anyways, yeah, I kind of agree with some of the stuff everyone's been saying. Like it's a shame the river runners, or this one river runner.
Yeah, River Run DMC.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to they just don't even listen to the Blackfish. They like hear him, but they don't listen.
You're not the Lord here.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Blackfish knew that this is exactly what they were gonna do. Like this is what the trap they were gonna set. He told them this, but they didn't listen to him. They're like, we're only gonna listen to the Lord of Riverrun. And I think somebody said it, earlier about this is why you need checks and balances, because if you're only gonna listen to one person's in charge, it's just not gonna work. You got to have the checks and the balances.
You got to balance the checks too if you're keeping.
And if that check
accounting-
bounces, then
If you're
you
going-
need to
if you're taking some marketing accounting classes, you got
marketing accounting. I just don't like all this marketing because there's all this accounting that you have to take, and that's an inside joke.
That's an inside joke, and we'll drink.
All right, fandom, finish this off for River Run here.
So damn, they freaking killed him off. Like, just like getting to enjoy a telly, you kill him off. Like, god damn it, just why? Just why? Another good character bites the damn dust. Hopefully, in the books, he's still alive. Hopefully, I don't know. God, whenever I start reading those books, but again, just like what everyone was saying, it's like you haven't seen this guy for X amount of months now or so. So it's like he's gonna show up and like, oh, he's the Lord. He's over there. I'm like, what?
I was just peeing the whole time.
He's the prince that was
Like-
promised. They promised that he was
gonna
peeing.
barter. To question a dude like, oh, so what have you been doing this whole damn time? Like, that was just a dumb move. Like, the Jackass Award of the episode like goes to this dude. Like, I don't know. Well, it's compared to that versus the Faith Mills at the beginning of the episode who just like striking the mountain. But no, I'll still give it to this dude. It's like, come on now, just come on. But happens, it happens. I don't want to blame it on like D&D writing, but I don't know who's to really blame here. I don't know.
Fair. Fair, I'm
It's,
not
it's
gonna.
the game of consolidations striking again. I think
Yeah.
it's
Right.
too complicated. We have not much time to go
Yeah,
left
the
because
SS
we're tired.
The SS abandoned plot lines that they need to figure
Yeah.
out.
I
Who's still rowing?
do have another thought, and I'm sorry. The wave at the end between these two, so you see Jamie kind of check the door and who's out there with him, make sure that Brienne can get away. And again, gooey. I'm just gooey inside. I'm just like, and
Gooman.
here's the
Oh yeah,
best
the
thing.
wave, fucking wave.
The way, yeah, like, and it's just sweet and it's lovely and it's so much more than just desire. Like, it's absolutely respect and I don't know, just the validation of who each of these people are or could be at their core, like at their best. Cersei and Jamie together, Cersei does not bring out the best in Jamie. We talk about this in relationships. Somebody that brings those two together would bring out the best in each other. And that's why I think I want so badly for them to just let themselves have it. Next point to this is Jamie waves first. And I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm a girl and he waved first. Okay? That's all I got to say.
You never
No,
want to be the one that calls back. You let
Yeah.
them call back first.
Exactly.
No,
But
you
it
you
reminds
don't
me.
call
it
a
ma-
boy. They call you, and if you get a voicemail or whatever, you can call him back. But
He's a gentleman.
you are
He's a
called.
traditionalist, if you will.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Not that I necessarily
it
think
made
that.
me feel good as the first time Ramsay waved to Theon with the sausage.
Oh my god, I hate you. Like seriously, I'm sorry.
That's gonna be like another week I don't eat sausage. Thank you. Just thank
Oh
you.
god,
There you
no,
go.
it just
Now the kielbasa in the fridge is gonna spoil. Damn it.
gotta change dinner tomorrow. And then, lastly, I think this show. So I don't necessarily think I would have picked up on Reigns or I don't even know what you call it, but like the
Rains, yeah,
no,
Rains
no,
of
no.
Casimir.
I know what that one is.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh.
clarify. We have like Danny's song, and we have like the Winterfell or the Starkey song, and then we have some other little musical things that go on, right? I don't know if as early I would have been looking out for it had it been you, but regardless, at this point, we see the Lannister troops marching
Mhm.
into Reigns here. They literally don't have to act. You can just have some guys marching in, and I feel this like imminent
Dread.
dread. Not necessarily, but dread. That's the perfect word, Bench. Like, way
You're
to go,
welcome.
musical department. Like, good job for, you know.
Yeah.
So, quick question to the group. When was the other time we heard Reigns of Castamere this episode?
Oh, it was
That other time in the episode.
when Tommen was walking out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. That was
No?
the Song of the Seven.
Oh.
The Light of the Seven. Or a motif of that.
when they show that drain.
No.
Oh,
dude.
wait.
That
I
beautiful
have
drain. They had the
think I know what you're
the
talking
drains
about.
of Castamere playing.
During the play.
It was at the end of the play.
The
It
play,
was,
that's right.
as the play was ending, it went
Yep.
to Reigns.
They went
Yeah,
to Rain.
There you
you're
go. I feel
right.
like I should get my trivia point back because
Well,
Nope.
that was like a couple episodes ago when I think the last time Benji hosted when he asked a question and I got it right, but then Luke's, oh no, that's a bullshit question. You can't ask that. And then he asked a different one and I got it wrong, and then
all right, I'm gonna
bullshit
forfeit
question.
forfeit one of my points to Glenn. 3 for me, 2 for Glenn.
All right, fair.
All right,
Well,
Canon, that's happening.
it's
Canon.
yeah,
All right, it's on stream.
The damage
on-
has been done because I haven't.
I'm
cared.
rooting for Abby anyway.
I haven't cared.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
playing
I
spoiler.
am too.
Abby, I'm
Abby's
playing
a
spoiler
guest.
over here.
All right. Anything else on River
See what I
Run
did?
or Blackfish,
Yeah.
Brienne Pod, anything? All right, we got our.
Yeah, Blackfish showing that he indeed does have the biggest balls of them all, as
The Blackfish
ACDC
has
is
the biggest
wont to have.
balls.
He is
of
also
them.
fucking 80 years old, so they just kind of.
He's
There's
not.
no way. Not in the show, at least. He's still hot.
He's a
Whatevs.
good-looking dude.
Yeah, for 80, I'll take him at 80.
At
I'll take
80,
him
this is him at 80.
He is
I'll take him at
scaly.
42. Like,
He
shit.
is very scaly at this point.
Anyway, so we got our final scene, as happens every episode
Again. Woo.
again. Yeah. Cheers. We're in Bravos. We got Arya, Lady Crane, the Wayfinator, and Jaqen. And yes, this is the Wayfinator scene for all of those people. Arya is found, Lady Crane pays the price, the hunt is on, and a face is delivered to the hall to pay a debt. Luke?
Oh, come back to me. My notes at the very, very end.
All
here.
right, fine. That's fine. I actually don't mind starting this one off. This actually isn't as bad watching it this time through.
I mean, I
the f-
disagree, but go ahead.
Okay, in
I'm,
fairness,
I'm,
I
te-
did.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
No,
Go
no, no.
ahead.
Okay. Also, in fairness, I watched it at 2 times speed as I normally do, so
It's way
it felt
better,
a little.
but it's very quick.
It felt better going quick because it didn't feel as robotic. Like, you
Oh,
know,
she is super
target.
robotic. You're right. Like,
It's super robot. I mean,
ooh,
when I first watched this, it was, oh my god, what the fuck is going on here? The
she.
wave looks so dumb. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not going to like interject here. All I want to say is it reminded me so much of the White Walkers, like their quickness.
Yeah, it was the
Sorry.
quickness, but the stiffness. Like there's
Yeah,
a
like
stiff
that.
move. Like it just seemed so weird. This time through, again, watching it at a faster speed, but it didn't feel as dumb as the first time. But a girl is no one. Fuck. And Ari's like, fuck that shit. I'm going home. Fuck you. I'm done. I proved myself. I got through it. I went. I took after your T1000, T2000, T fucking cunt 3000. I'm done. I'm out of here. And so it's this scene, the first time you watch it, it's like, what the fuck is this? Especially if you're a book reader at this point, seeing this, it's like, really, what the fuck is this? Show watcher, I tried to watch it as a show watcher. It was still kind of rough, but it wasn't as bad. So, Glenn, go ahead.
Sure. So, Lady Crane, her acting here is very good, especially after she dies. Ben, it's kind of like Gary from Team America World Police.
Ugh, ugh,
Oh, he's acting.
Gary.
She's acting.
She's acting.
And then like another thing, and I guess you're probably just talking about it, or maybe I'm just losing my mind. But why did the wave have to use a face? Like whenever,
When she first shows up,
yeah,
right? I mean,
because like I don't think Lady Crane knew
who the waif
who
would have
the
been.
wave would have been.
But then it changes back.
And
It's like she.
Yeah.
Takes it off for Arya.
It was like
Who
some
knows her?
It's
some
like
like
some
little
du- this
some
guy
little
right here.
douchebag or whatever. Like, yeah, why?
I did
why?
wonder-
It doesn't look that much different either. Like if you just like miss that, you'd be like,
That's
okay,
what I
that's
was-
just the waif.
That's what I thought. I was like,
No.
am I losing my mind, or was that a different guy or girl or whatever?
I did wonder if it was the like man she talked about being jealous of.
Oh, okay. Like
That's-
one of the guys that the bad
Like,
boys that she fell in
yeah,
love with
like-
over the years.
Not that
Huh.
I have any proof, but
This
just
guy,
in my head,
though?
I was like, "Oh my god, is
Does that
like-
look like the guy that you think?
This
though?
is the guy that's
No,
getting with
this
Lady
isn't the-
Crane, the best looking Cersei that we've ever seen.
this is
Benji's
not
words.
the motorcycle
Benji's words, I'm
riding
quoting
hot
this
bad boy." You're
episode.
right, but initially, like, I kind of had like, "Oh, is that the waif?" Or I knew it was bad. Had that like, "Oh, this is
Who is
not
this?
a good
Who
thing."
is this schmuck?
But I thought, "Oh, well, maybe it's like one of those bad guys that are jealous, or she's jealous." I don't know. So I don't
So
know.
it made you hesitate, and so it served
Yeah,
its purpose for
exactly.
Who the
10
fuck are you?
seconds.
Probably
Kill.
like 3.5 seconds, but cool.
Well, yeah.
Like, like it did serve some purpose, I guess, in my mind.
Yeah, fair.
I
fair.
guess I don't.
I
All right.
guess.
It didn't
Fandom.
really- whatever.
So
I
yeah,
digress.
for starters, it's like how many times I've taken jabs at Cersei. Like, god damn it, just come on now, just come on.
We've been
Just-
saving them all up for you. We've known you were coming
have.
for a season now, and it's like we got to
Ah.
hold them all in.
So one, I was kind of
We love
disappointed
it.
because we didn't get to see the actual fight between Arya and the Wave. When
Yeah.
she like cut the candle, I was like, what? And then it transitioned to the next scene. I'm like, I said, Mom, can I like have permission to curse like right near you? She's like, sure. I'm like, what the fuck? They really just skipped that? Even she was disappointed. It's like, yeah, they actually just did that. Like, damn. And then how she was like, oh, I'm not no one. I'm Arya Stark. And then she just walks out. I'm like, what? So you're just gonna just allow her just to leave, just like that? Like,
Yeah. Like it seems like
what?
such a stereotypical spot that this would have been the end of these scenes of this episode, right? Like that would have been Game of Thrones 101 to just to just leave it there and be
That's
like,
my note.
okay, like that's it. And then we get the next part of that scene next episode, if that. And I don't know. It's almost like they're trying something new because they've done that so many times. They're like, hey, let's just get to the point with this one. But I see where it goes. Like that's okay. Like that would have been a cool thing. Well, I mean, it's literally hard to show a fight in the dark. I guess like pitch
Yeah.
black is the fight.
But my problem is the fight in the dark thing, because the waif went through the blind fucking test and all that. This,
But I don't know that.
But
But we don't know that. We assume that. It's only assumption that she's going through the same training regimen
okay,
or program that Arya is going
yeah,
through.
I
And
I
you
guess.
could, again, just to
That's-
make the argument, you could
Nope,
say
yeah,
that
that's fine.
Arya has been given a little bit of a special treatment by Jaqen and has almost gone through further along type things,
Uh-huh.
training things, because of
Right.
the name she has.
It's
like
like-
we don't know.
Okay.
Like
Okay, no, and that's
educationconnection.com.
that's
Education connection.
I will pull off my gripe with it from there. So, but that's fair. But at the same time,
It's also Arya's done it. Even if they have both done it, she's done it more recently, and sometimes those skills degrade.
true, and she knew the atmosphere more.
And she's
So,
also probably a better true sword fighter. She has needle. That is her
This is
weapon of
true.
choice. She
Yeah.
gets like a +1 bonus on saving rolls at least.
Right.
Fair,
She's
fair,
in
fair,
her,
fair, fair.
her favorite environment, so
Alright,
she gets an
all right,
extra
all right, all
D10.
right, all right. I'll give you that one, and that's fair. It was just one of those, like, I saw him like, yeah, but the waif had the same training, but okay, fair. I'll concede to a point. It's the show. I can leave it at that.
It's Disney. It's not
Disney.
not yet.
No.
Not yet.
David and Dan are Disney now, so yeah.
The one
But,
thing I like to
alright.
say is I'm happy that from this scene gave birth to the tinfoil that this whole time Arya is the wave. I just love that.
Yeah.
So it's only one good thing out of that. Because we couldn't see the fight. So it's like, is she Arya or is she the wave?
Yeah. And
That's why he allowed her to go.
tinfoil, that's out there right now. We still
Mhm.
have no confirmation, so that's not a spoiler. We have no fucking confirmation.
Yeah, and I don't know if we really touched on this very well last episode because I was pretty drunk by this point in the episode. But like the combination of the end of last episode and the end of this episode brought forth more like in-season theories of what the fuck is going on than a lot of episodes do because of the
So I'm not the only one that has been saying not just this time through, but like since this came out, what the fuck are we doing here?
Like, would Arya really get stabbed in the gut like that and just be okay? Like she got said what, like 6 times and just shows up like she's just cool, and then she can just go and do these athletic moves and it's all cool. Like you are not alone. There are big questions on this, and the only answer is show.
Yeah.
So far.
To your direct comment right there, I feel like Arya should have died. She didn't. Jon Snow did die. He didn't.
He
Bran should have died. He didn't. Like this is all. I don't have like some prediction I'm going on with this.
We just have protected
something,
characters, is what you feel like.
Well, it's just like something I'm tucking in my pocket to use for later. Like these people should have died.
But they have plot armor, Abby. You forget that.
Yeah, I guess so. Or reincarnation, which is real here, so it's cool. But whatevs. There's something. There's a connection I'll make at some point, or when the show tells me, "Hey, this is blatantly what's going on."
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I'll be like, "Oh, Theo was saying it all along. Remember that one time?" So my notes on this specific scene, the one I have here major bolded out is what the actual fuck, Jaqen. Okay. So that's my overall thoughts of this scene. More in depth than that, the first jump Arya makes off this to get away from the wave,
Right there.
like you said, she is hurt. She is stabbed. She has literally like deep muscle, body wounds,
Deep
going
tissue damage.
like
it
and
is.
she
Well,
just
she was stabbed in the
jumps
gut, like-
off, like, and you can have adrenaline,
How
I
deep?
guess.
How deep were you talking?
How Deep Is Your Love by Bread is a good
I-
song.
I don't
It's
know
not-
That's
how
by
do
Bee
you.
Gees.
It's
By
not.
the Bee
It's not a
Gees.
big
I
organ. Like
apologize.
it's not
Sort
an
of
organ
a-
that you're gonna die right away. It's gonna
You
take
know,
a
that's the song you
while.
have to do during
And
compressions.
I'm not really
And
worried about like the
I'm
imminent
more worried
death.
about the infections that might
Oh,
happen.
this is Glenn. I appreciate. Yeah,
They're
you're probably
completely
right.
fair.
But
That's good.
jumping off a building like that, like with those type of wounds, I just feel like would be so
Well,
painful.
She took the milk of the pot. She took a nappy, and she's
Oh,
good.
And milk
okay.
milk of the nappy.
Milk of the
Okay.
nappy is what she took.
So okay, dulls
Milk of the
pain.
nappy.
All right. I'll work with that one. That I'm okay. You've convinced me.
Exactly.
Milk of the nappy. It solves everything. If you ever have, if you've been stabbed with the gut, take a nap.
Milk
You
of-
all right?
Take a nap.
Milk of the
Milk
nappy.
of a
And
puppy,
then-
basically heroin. You're
It's
fine.
like Fallout, right? If you're all damaged, just take a nap. Your HP goes right back up
Exactly.
to 100%.
That's the best way. Either take a bunch of Stepniacs, or
Sleep for 12 hours. Your
Or
health
sleep.
Your health score is regen.
all
right, all right,
I think all you have to sleep
So
is for like an
I-
hour, and then you're back on track.
Abby, keep going.
Thank
keep
you.
Going.
I would like to talk again about like the fight in the dark. I did not
Shot in the dark.
necessarily
By
get
Dio.
the tin foil, whatever you want to
What'd
call
you
it.
say?
Last time I thought you called me
just-
meth heads,
the fall.
but that's cool.
Definitely.
Oh,
But you meant myth heads, I think. But
We were drunk, so.
no, I heard it wrong, and then I called myself a meth head, so it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you're
so,
a myth head.
hey, it's never too late to start meth.
Yeah, right.
The Church of Starry Wisdom. You'll fit right in.
Yeah, so the fighting in the dark scene. At first, I'm still disappointed I didn't necessarily get to see it, but at the same time, I thought, well, like this is your downfall, Waif. This is where you went wrong. You have trained her so well for this. I did not get like
Coming at
Benji
you.
was saying, like she's gone through the same training. I did not necessarily think
What
that
is
this
she
was
doing?
like some regiment that they go through this blind training. Maybe they have, but I just thought that Arya, this has made it level, like a level playing field here. She's hurt, she's injured, but at least now she's blind, which she's been doing for how long that the wave has been abusing her. And then Jockin. So like at the very end, she's like, "Oh, now a girl's no one." The fuck? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Sounds
my-
good.
Just to jump in, my only note here is now you're finally no one.
Yeah, like
Like, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. Like,
okay. Cool.
Yeah, but then she comes back with the fucking badass. No, I'm Arya Stark of Winterfell, and
But-
I'm going home.
But here's my
Hanging
my
here.
last thing with
Yeah.
this, and I'll let you all move on, or whatever
you're
we
fine.
want to do here is Jockin is Jockin, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I would presume,
maybe.
right. Jockin's whoever Jockin is. Okay, great. But I would presume he's a pretty great fighter and gets shit done. He should be teaching her. Like he lets her leave. We don't see him say stop or like I. That's all I'll say. Like
he gives the nod. He gives the
like,
nod.
there's no protest. There's no
Yeah, and Luke
the
walked
fuck
away.
you
So
just say to me. There's
he
nothing.
nods and he grins, and Luke walked away, so he can't get the screen cap for it. He has a grin, like he's like,
Yeah.
"This is what," like he grins, like this is what I've actually been training you for.
Right, like,
kind of mentality. Like Luke hit, or he's still not on headphones. 1 second.
And
Glenn,
I
tell him we're
still
waiting for him.
and I still don't know
There
if
we go.
it's like
Go two clicks, Luke. Picture wise. Okay, couple more. Go to the grin. There we go.
That
yeah,
grin.
like that.
Yeah, and he's like, he has that look of, all right, now you're ready to go kill some motherfuckers, but you don't really have to be, part of us.
This
This is what you were meant for.
this is all a Jockin does not stop her because this all along has been his plan. Sorry, I'm just gonna go prediction number 1 here on you guys. I'm sorry about
Fair.
this
Go ahead.
because it just fits in. And Jockin needs he needs Arya for something. I don't really know what. I'm sure it's tied to the long night or whatever. And he needed her trained and he needed her skilled and he needed her all these things, which he has done now. but her going back is all by design. So he's like, smile, okay, Arya Stark. Like he doesn't care that she's Arya, or that I would assume she is like dissed the religion. Why don't you
Yeah.
care? Like it's just baffling to me.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And how the fuck do you become a faceless man? I'm still fucking confused.
Apparently, Arya's
Uh,
confused as well,
yeah.
but she said,
apparently
"Fuck it."
Jockin's confused as well.
The
So
rules
Like-
are malleable.
So,
all right. So that ends our
Well, hey,
recap
hey,
of
Whoa,
the
whoa,
episode.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
Glenny, dog.
real quick, I got like a point.
Go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry, sir.
No problem. So I think as you see, like Arya kind of trying to run away from the waif, she's kind of smearing her blood on the walls and stuff like that. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
looks like she's like leaving a breadcrumb trail.
She's Hansel and Greteling it
Right.
along.
Like
Yeah.
it almost seems like she's luring the waif.
I mean, I think
Like
She-
on purpose, you think, Glenn?
That's what
Yeah.
it seems like. Yeah.
I think so because
I
she goes
agree.
there and she has the candle already lit and Needle's sitting there, right? I mean, it's like,
Right,
hey, I'm
because
gonna
she
go back-
looks like she's like, like she's shit out of luck, and
Get her into a
but
confined
like at the
space.
same time, she was trying to get back to the Alamo, where she had Needle and this candle and or whatnot, and kind of the
Back to
waif
those
gets in there
days.
like, oh, you want it on your knees or on your feet? And
She's like, I want it with the lights off, bitch.
slice.
We're gonna need the lights off for this one.
So
okay?
I don't know. I think like the whole thing, it just almost seemed like it was just a big plan to get the waif into her den, so to speak, on her turf, her rules.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she could have beat her 1-on-1 in a in a fair
No, she
fight,
knows.
neutral
Yeah.
site. So get her on her
Um,
turf, and let's go.
Exactly. No, and that's very well said. It's one.
I think the waif has been a sacrificial ham since the beginning.
Cheers to sacrificial ham.
Sacrificial hams and Phil H calls for a drink in the chat. So yeah,
All right,
Them
drink.
hams.
Cheers.
and a shout out for Hodor. Oh, it's
Hodor.
over there.
Oh my god.
Just a classic Hodor.
Yep. Hodor.
Lenny's got it
From north to the wall.
from
No.
north of Winterfell.
North from
Went-
Winterfell.
Yeah.
From north
The
to-
autobiography of Hodor.
Oh man, what is it called? Like I never got the title before.
North from Winterfell.
North from
Oh,
Winterfell.
north.
The autobiography of Hodor. You can get it
Okay.
on Amazon using our Amazon affiliates link. Go to thepodcast.com/support us and find more there.
It's a
So, all right,
good read.
we're gonna get into our wrapping up the episode itself. We have the episode title accuracy. No one. It kind of
Sure.
we. I'm sure
There was
because
people.
the
There was
last
people in the episode.
That's true.
But
This was not a
There was not
scenery
anybody
only,
there. Come on, D&D.
I mean, it's what they were actually doing really well with this.
Dicks
They
and
were
Dicks.
doing well with the titles. The
Dicks and dogs.
for the last couple. This one, it was a single scene, kind of
But
thing.
she's going home. I think like there's a huge fandom.
It's a
or-
huge thing, and don't get me
part-
wrong, I love Arya,
Yeah.
and so I'm happy with any Arya stuff coming up and overtake.
especially this in the last 2 fucking seasons where we've
Yes.
just been like, Arya, what the fuck? Go back home.
Yes, no, agreed. It just watching this now, just
I
scene by scene, it's like, it fits for one thing. It's the one thing I care. One of the things I care about, but
it's not overall
yeah.
encompassing.
So, anything else, fandom? Anything on that?
Well, I'm happy that I'm still okay with having my Jack and Hagar Funko Pop. So when I was watching this, I was like,
He's still
"Yeah, should I really
laughing.
throw this away?" Or
He's still
no?
here. He's still laughing. He's
Yeah,
still good.
maybe that's why he was smiling because he knew Funko was gonna make him something. So it's like, yeah.
And he's still Serial Pharrell, right?
I'm waiting for
Exactly.
the
oh
Draken
yeah.
redemption
I
arc.
stand by that. Just saying. All right. So description accuracy. While Jamie weighs his options, Cersei answers a request.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Jamie weighs his options. The options of the weighing of a baby to catapult trebuchet. Yeah.
I really feel like I missed that line, which would
Or
have
does Jamie weigh his options of going with Brienne almost?
Going going with Brienne. Weighing his
Yeah, but I
options of
think
just-
anybody could weigh their options about anything that they're
Oh,
doing.
should I have, almond butter with my strawberry jelly, or
Legume-
should I have peanut butter?
Legume butter.
Legume butter.
It is all about the avocado toast. That's it.
Avocado toast.
Yes.
I hate avocado.
Let's not
Cersei
break
answers a
it.
Cersei answers a request. Sure, she answered it with violence. So those violence is always an option. Tyrion's
It's the best option
plans
sometimes.
bear fruit.
There's no bears.
And there is no fruit.
It's
It's
spoiled.
it's
fruit.
in wine. It's spoiled fruit. It's
And I
been
don't know who
fermented.
typed this
Wines.
in or if they just copy and pasted it because it's literally spelled bear fruit, as in grizzly bear fruit, not BARE, as in it bears.
There
Like,
are no bears.
Bear
There are
fruit.
no
Yeah, I don't
bears.
know.
So,
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't look at this, but
Here come.
I don't think
I-
I don't think I typed this one in.
I didn't type it in.
Bear
I
but
didn't type it in either.
I hope it's wrong on there
It's
because that would make me so
magic.
happy.
One of us brought it in.
All right.
Yeah.
So Arya faces a new test. Sure.
It's the
I mean,
test that
it's
we've
been
been
the
waiting
same
for
old,
her to
same
make
old
since the beginning of
shit.
season 5. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
So all right. So we're gonna go to least favorite things. Glenn, what was your least favorite thing?
So I think the Blackfish death. Like we said, no more Blackfish. Kind of a good character that maybe not like everyone's favorite character, but a likable character that is now kind of done after he just came back a couple episodes ago
It's like
or whatever. Like just
abandoned plot lines.
right.
and
Let's just
bring
kind
him
of end
back to
this so
kill
people
him.
don't fucking talk about it anymore. So we can just kind of end this discussion, so to
Yeah,
speak.
he's done.
And
He's
then,
dead. He's out of the story. He gone.
Also in the same thing, like they don't really do him justice by not showing the last battle. It was just
Yeah.
it was another one of those.
There
He
were
deserved
two
it.
of them.
Here
like,
comes a battle, and then
and here comes
fast
a bear.
forward. Oh,
Yeah.
this is what happened in the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. So mine was the Wayfinator. Even though I said it wasn't as bad this time, it's still bad. It's still the worst part of the episode. The fucking roboticness of her hunting down Arya. I mean, I get the scene, the chasing. It's just her movements, the way she was directed itself. I just didn't like, and don't think I ever will, because it was just very Jason Voorhees, fucking Terminator. I'm going to get you, coming after you, kind of thing. That just bothered me. Luke.
Least favorite thing was the fact that Benji put Loris's name in the scenes instead of Lancel earlier. That kind of bothered me, and I got over it in time. No, my real least favorite thing was honestly Bravos for the past season and a half. Arya's been there too long, and it's just been. I mean, even our first time watcher Abby was like, what are we doing here?
There's
like,
just
what are we doing here?
Right.
And
Bravos.
I love Arya.
Right. It's like it's a fan favorite character, and you gotta love her. And it's just she's learning, quote unquote, learning the same lesson over and over. And then we take your eyesight, and then we give you your eyesight back, and we just still continue to just beat the shit out of you. Like there's really not a chance for her to grow. It's confusing. It's bad writing kind of throughout. It's just, hey, we have to have this well-known fan favorite character doing something. Where they left Bran out,
And
I think they
and
probably could have
there
left
was a
Arya
lot from
out
the source
as well.
material that they could have worked with, and they didn't.
Well, like I think Bravos as a city, like it just doesn't have the same magic. It doesn't smell like the same comes
As King's Landing.
as King's
Yeah,
Landing.
damn, I meant to look it up. It was something uncommon. I can't remember what it fucking was.
Yeah, it was a season 4 episode.
Yeah. Garlic and cum.
Garlic and cum.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. I wrote the whole song. Garlic and cum, garlic and cum.
That's
Oh my
true.
god, Shea Stadium is dumb.
That is, yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Nice work. Nice work. There you go.
And that was season 2. That was season 2, not season 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
What?
it would have to be. It would have to be earlier. Yep.
Sorry. Anyway, as soon as Glenn said that, I'm like, I wrote a
Who's
fucking
doing their
song
least favorite
for
thing
it.
next?
All right, Abby, what was your least favorite thing?
I am gonna go with like no real north here. Like we don't have. I'm really interested now in John, Bran. It's not like that whole dynamic. What's come? We don't have any of that.
Yeah,
So
fair. No,
and
absolutely fair.
it's not just necessarily like one plot line. We have an entire, just I don't know, more than a region, half a
Ye-
world out.
Yeah, no, that's actually completely fair because we didn't get north, we didn't get the Iron Islands, we didn't get.
Yeah, it's just
It was all
and
south.
I. It was hard for me to pick I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was kind of a very heavy hitting episode. Like, so we'll go with that because I like
Fandom.
that stuff.
What was your least favorite thing in this episode?
No, for starters, one, I can't eat sausages, and two, when I get pizza, I normally, grab the salt, garlic, and now I'm like, no, because now it's gonna be, garlic and cum now.
Garlic and
So,
I get the garlic and gum pizzas.
but
Or like from
Ew.
Papa
least
John's, that's
favorite.
like the little
I
thing
love
that
that you
comes in your
put salt in your.
Stop it,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna
Luke.
love that you put
Stop
salt in
it
your pizza.
now.
I love that.
You get a
fan of that.
pepperoncini and a garlic and cum.
Garlic and gum.
But yeah, least favorite has to be like the wave thing. It's like you had in previous episode, she almost like literally killed Arya. So it's like, okay, we're gonna finally get to see where they're actually gonna fight, and then you're just gonna just cut the candle. Like,
Yeah.
all right, like, come on now, come on.
And you could blame Joe Magician, our buddy Matt in the chat for the garlic and cum Papa John's side.
Joe, not cool,
miss-
bro. We're no
Uh,
longer friends.
But it is cool.
He is a good bro. He's on Maester Monthly with Eliana,
Yeah,
our good friend.
oh man, I just
Yeah.
really love Papa John's, and I just got their update from my app that I have enough points to get free pizzas, and I was
Free-
gonna
free
eat that
cum.
tomorrow. You're
Get the
ruining my
extra garlic dipping
Saturday,
sauce.
Peppers and gum.
and I love pepperoncinis.
Oh man.
Damn it!
All right, so we're gonna go to our favorite thing, and we'll go in reverse order. So, FDS fandom, what was your favorite thing this episode?
Violence, like that was it. That favorite part of the episode. Not gonna lie there. Not because it's a Cersei scene though, but still, let's face
But
it.
Right to
it's
the
because
kiss.
of the Cersei scene.
Exactly.
But no. I know what you mean.
Like-
It was fucking beautifully done, and no, I agree. It's awesome. All right, Abby.
My absolute most favorite thing about this entire episode is that I'm pretty sure I will never have to see that fucking play again.
Well,
Yeah,
this was
I think
3
this is, what,
episodes in
the
a
third
row.
time.
The
Yeah,
last one,
yeah,
the last
3
one you would
episodes
have
in a row.
cried at.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm done with it. I'm over it. I've seen it at least 3 times. So cool. Get me the fuck out of Bravos, bro.
Imagine like Arya survives Game of Thrones, and then she just goes and becomes, part of the play.
Oh,
That's
and
like
that's
the
all
very
she
last
does.
scene.
Oh my god.
Oh
Hey,
well.
hey, she was offered the job. Hey, come travel with the circus, and I was like, I'd like to, but I can't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't remember the lines.
Yeah.
Take the free train ticket. Like,
Yeah.
get out of
We're
town.
offering you a job.
Exactly.
You want a job? No.
Favorite thing. I want to reiterate. Yeah, the I choose violence. That's big
Yeah.
shout out to that. One of the best lines
Oh yeah.
in the show. But everything Sandor, just awesome. I love the conflict that he's going through, and I love the I'm an axe man kind of thing. And it's just I like where he's at, and I like the chances that he's putting himself into right now. Just a cool spot, and just brutality. I've always a good Sandor plot.
Completely fair. And looking at it, Glenn, go ahead with yours.
Yeah, the same kind of thing. The houndage. Like he just came back like last episode, and kind of like you thought like, oh, this is gonna be his thing. He's gonna be with this commune. They're gonna build seps and shit like that, and then there goes that. And now he's like, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, he's gonna be there, but you don't know exactly what's planned or anything. And now he runs in with the B without B, and like it's just he gets new shoes.
Shoes.
All you need is friends.
Shit.
All you need is friends, ships, and shoes.
Friends,
Yep.
ships, and shoes. That's
Exactly.
the story of this episode. I think.
That's classic story of the
Yeah,
episode.
cheers. Story of the year. Story of the episode.
Cheers. So my favorite thing really is no matter what people want to say, Jamie's still not a good guy. And I love that about this episode. He has that redemption arc. It's like I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to do this, but he's still not. And I
He's still
love
who
that.
he is. Yeah.
He's still who he is because we've gotten the whitewashing of Tyrion. We've gotten the whitewashing of all these other characters.
We haven't
But
had the
Jamie,
White Walkering of Tyrion.
we have not. We may get the White Walkering of Hodor, so I'm okay with that.
Oh my God, you're right.
Abby hadn't thought about that. You just broke Abby.
Oh God, I don't want
Oh.
to know if animals can happen. Because can you imagine if you just get all the bunnies on the earth to turn like mass
What are
death
the-
by
what are the
cute
jackrabbits
bunny?
from-
Anyway, I'm
from the
sorry
I
to
Hobbit?
cut
love
off
how she
Abby,
just
but
transitioned
I
to
love the thought.
bunnies of all things.
God, I've just been thinking about it over and over.
Yeah. So, but I love that they're still keeping Jamie Gray. You know, he literally threatened to throw a toddler at a fucking wall from a catapult. You know, he's gray, and I love the gray of this story. That's where this story is. It's not the white and black. It's not the good and the bad. It's the I'm going to do what I need to do to get what I want. You know, whether it might be pure or innocent or pure or evil, I love that. And so they kept that. And fuck yeah, because that is one that, yeah, Abby, spoiler, yeah, now book wise, it's very similar. And fuck yeah, so it's one that I just can't, let go because thank you. Because they've whitewashed so many characters in the show, but they're keeping Jamie Gray. And that's why he's kind of one of my favorites show wise. Like book wise, meh. Show wise, fuck yeah. So anyway, anybody got anything else to add or comment on before we wrap everything up? Well, actually, we're not wrapping anything up because we got a whole other section to go. I just realized. So, other podcasts, we have our podcast that floats down here. Podcast that floats down here is the podcast about Stephen King's It. It's a chapter by chapter read through. We just released we just got halfway through the book, and we have a noobs section that just came out with Abby, Luke, and friend of the show, Bailey, who has been on our show one or a couple times
3
now.
times.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
been
She's
three.
tied in the lead.
Okay, all right.
She's in the lead.
Yeah, Bailey Riddle. They all read up to the same point in Stephen King's It and didn't go past it, and it's fucking phenomenal. It's it's a fun show. Me, Luke, and our sister Melissa host it. It's a good time to read through. Getting ready to get the new movie coming out in September. We'll be caught up right by the beginning of that movie, so it's perfect. Learn more at thepodcast.com. First time watching on the wall. You got your predictions. You already made one. Say it again, and then go with the
Would
rest
you let
of
me
them.
to read what I wrote about her
Yes,
first prediction?
Go for it, Luke.
Jockin always needed Arya for something else. Her going back has always been by design.
It sounds riveting.
I nailed it.
Mhm.
I just did a
Yep.
really good job there. I'm just
Rivet.
gonna go ahead and
Yay.
pat myself on the back.
Rivet City over there.
You know, it's got rivets.
River City?
You want to talk about rivets for a while? Structural
Rusty
engineer comment?
rivets?
I'll
Rivet
see.
City
Okay.
is what I was.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay,
Follow
so.
through.
All right. So the rumors Cersei and Qyburn were talking about. We also heard that the little birds have been involved in this rumor mill. I'm gonna guess. I don't necessarily think this is a prediction, but maybe they found some damning evidence on the High Sparrow. Something they can use, leverage, or maybe I really don't know. That's like it's such a blatant comment. So that's gonna be my guess that they have some dirt on the High Sparrow. It's such a blatant comment for me to sit there and feel like, oh wait, what the fuck are we talking about? That I'm a little bit like put off that
Like he's
I
running
have
some kind of scam or something.
yeah, like how the fuck don't I know about this shit? Like
A
I
Ponzi
take notes
scheme.
every week on these fucking episodes and I don't okay, cool. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see. So where is Varys going? Um He's
To
selling
find his
back.
long lost friends.
You
Well,
wanted to be
he's
here.
sailing back to
You were elsewhere, but you wanted to
Westeros.
be here.
But you want to be somewhere else.
And my thought is like, what can he possibly gain in Westeros? It sounds pretty dangerous, so I don't feel like he's just going to like hit Westeros on the banks and grab some dirt and leave. Like, I feel like he's infiltrating somewhere.
He's
Like
being
he's gonna have,
intentional.
yeah, and he's pretty sneaky. He's pretty great. That bald beauty, as
What'd
I
you
called him
say?
earlier.
That
But
bald beauty.
All beauty.
I think possibly, I I'm torn between him going to the north and him going like to the sand snakes.
Okay.
I
So he's either going north or as far south as south gets in Westeros.
Either go north or he's going south.
He was
I think
somewhere, but he
he's
wanted to
gonna
be somewhere
go-
else.
He's either
I
going
think
somewhere
he's-
because he wanted to be somewhere else.
Varys is Varys, so he knows a lot what's going on,
He
even if he's not there.
knows.
So I think he realizes that the North's focus isn't necessarily towards King's Landing. Their focus is up top threat. So I think he's gonna go south and kind of use that anger they have already towards King's Landing to get them on Team Dragon. And number 4. We have Ariadne, Varys. So we can either
Sandor Clegane.
Okay, so that was what I was going to ask. Should I do Sandor or Edmure? Actually, both these are really short. Sandor, I believe, does not necessarily join them, but he accompanies them to wherever, they're going. Because he does want to do good, help. And we'll kind of buy into it. I don't necessarily think he'll become a brother without banners. And Edmure is probably just put back in a cell.
All right, so our first time watchers' speculations this episode were Jaqen always needed Arya for something else. Her going back has always been by design. Question 2, or speculation 2, Qyburn found damning information on High Sparrow. But speculation 3, where is Varys going? Maybe the north, maybe Dorne. Speculation 4, Sandor does kinda join the BBWOB.
Perfect. Sounds
The
perfect.
B without B.
The B minus B.
EB? What?
Host, take it back. You're muted.
He.
Well,
Damn it, I was
save that
typing.
there.
Didn't want the
Fandom, take us out.
Sorry. What was the question?
Finish us off.
Fandom,
All right. So, fandom, did you come? You hadn't filled it in, but we're gonna kind of go through our superlatives. If you want to do it on the fly, that's kind of typical and everything. But we'll run through our superlatives, are abbreviated. If you want the full, if you don't come up with things, just say got nothing, or
All right.
So, all right, Glenn, what is your house name?
I am Glenn of House Dog.
Your house words,
You miss 99% of the shots you don't take.
your sigil,
Buzz McKenzie with a Wayne Gretzky 99 jersey on.
your bannerman,
Bannerman is House Charlie of Shell Hughes
your Twitter,
at Popsicle Stand.
and final thought.
This is your typical run of the mill season 6, episode 8 of a Game of Thrones that you can ask for. That's
it followed the script, of that episode.
exactly.
This is why Glenn's everybody's favorite.
All right, so I am Ben, aka Sly House McLean. House words, it's dangerous to drink alone. Take this. House sigil is 3 golden triangles on a field of red and black. My house bannermen are the postures, the ones you want to ride with. On Twitter, I'm at Sly McLean. My final thought is, of all the season 6's episode 8s, this is one of them. Good episode, very good episode. It's
Run of the mill.
run of the mill, but there really wasn't much bad with this. There was a lot of build. It's a lot of story building, not world building, but story building and everything like that. So it was good. Nothing to really hate on.
No.
So Luke, what's your house name?
Lucan of House Blackmead.
Your words,
Ours is the drink.
sigil.
An obsidian black chalice on a gold and blue checky background.
Bannerman,
Oh, House Karen of Night Song, of course.
Exactly.
your Twitter,
At Luca Ferocious.
or
And at No One Drink. If you've ever talked to No One Drink on Twitter, it was me. That was me.
He's back on the mend.
I apologize, probably.
You're back
And
on the
your final
mend at that
thought.
point.
And final thought: this episode happened. Bringing the Hound back and full swing. We saw a lot of that was last episode, and it carries through very well. This episode, Cersei knocks it out of the park. I mean, a great Cersei episode for damn sure. I'm going to our guest here. I just want him to like me. Like that's where I'm at right now. But no, but really, the "I choose violence" line, that's just one of those ones. It stands out. That is
iconic. Yeah.
iconic. I agree with that terminology. So that's all I gotta say about that. And that's all I
Abby.
have to say about that.
What's your house name?
Gertie of House Condescension.
What's your words?
We don't quit.
Your sigil.
It is a field of white with a raven sitting upon a black, up-pointed chevron.
Your house Bannerman.
That would be House Wahlberg of Wahlburgers.
Now I'm throwing one extra in on you for people in the chat that will see you in the future. What's your YouTube name?
Ooh.
It might change, right? You might be
it
updating.
Well,
may
it's gonna
change.
be Gertie.
It's gonna
So,
be Gertie.
but
If
it's
you
probably
see Gertie, it's Abby.
it's me, but it's Gertie,
As of
and
right
in the-
now. As of right now.
Well, it's gonna be after like the next 24 minutes. Gertie, last name will probably just be G. But
Okay.
yeah, but
Gertie
it'll be
G.
Gertie go home.
What's up, Gertie?
Gertie,
G?
go home. All right, cool. Just because I want you to come back more into trivia and just play around with us. So,
That's my
what's your personal
Gertie.
Twitter though?
All the rain is
So you
gone.
can find me on
Be
Twitter
creative.
at Go Home Gertie.
All the suns.
And your final thought.
Pretty flowers
Um,
need the sun.
This is a pretty.
This applies to Bill and
I'm a
Dave
fan. I'm a fan
from-
of this episode.
from accounting.
We're ruining things.
And I'm-
so I apologize.
Fan.
And my final thought is, I'm a little gooey after this.
Goo. She gooed.
Ew.
By design.
Was that for Jamie and Jaime and Brienne?
Yes, it's
Little
just
ditty
in
about
the.
Jamie Brienne.
Little gooey.
Two little
a-
knights growing up in the Riverland. Getting gooey, this song could be better. But we're gonna have harsh weather. I'll leave it
Oh
at that.
goodness, that turned Garthy, but that's okay.
Um,
And like we see Arya here, like the gooiness. Like we see Arya finally being like, "This is who I am," staking. Like, I'm out. I'm going home, and that's like such a big thing for me. Like home, like that idea of love and family and home for her. She hasn't had that since season 1.
Yeah.
Like that's
Since
insane. This
episode
girl
2.
needs a hug.
Episode 2, literally. She has not been home. Yeah.
Like she's
She-
lost just Serial, Gendry, her dad, her sister, like literally her freaking direwolf, everybody.
She lost her pack.
Like and the
Is-
new pack she made, and then the new pack after that, like they're all gone.
Mhm.
So is kind of. Oh no, I can't say that. Never mind. I'm stopping now. Boom.
Fair.
Don't
All
spoil
right.
anything, Abby. Come on.
Exactly.
Easy.
Fandom.
Uh-uh.
All right. You got a house name?
Yeah, house broke.
House broke. Nice. House words.
Dreams never die.
House sigil.
It's gonna be like a Freddy Funko skull wearing a straw hat inside of a TV box.
Nice. Your house sword.
It's gonna be I know I mispronounced this, so if anyone from Japan is watching this, do forgive me. Don't curse them out, curse me out. I mispronounced this. No dachi ki
Kikoku.
kuyo. It's like a Japanese
Kodachi
sword.
Kikoku.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Your
totally.
house region.
The New World.
It's a brave new world.
Where Arya's
All right.
going. Right?
Somewhere new.
I
with
absolutely
calm.
love this one. What's your house religion?
Oh, we pray to the god of Frosties.
Fuck yeah.
I
Fuck
love
yeah.
a 50. I love a solid 50-cent frosty. Nothing wrong.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. Dip your fries
Got
in
dip
it.
some fries in it.
Yep.
Exactly. Got
Yep.
dip some fries in it.
Sure.
Your horse's name.
Oh, my horse name is Stannis because it knows how to retreat.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Shots fired. Fuck yeah.
I feel like some of our former guests would just
Oh,
roll over in their proverbial graves hearing that.
Oh,
Not gonna
I'm
call
on your
anybody
team,
out,
though.
but they knew who they are.
All right.
Nice.
This one's actually just as good. Who's your animal?
oh, I think I play like what? Blue-haired cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I like that one. Did you have an ancestral home?
I really couldn't think of anything on the spot, honestly.
Okay. No, that's fair. Newspaper, that's a tough one. Anything on that?
Fandom newspaper. I don't know.
Phantom newspaper. All right, that'll work. Your famous house ancestor.
Oh, Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels.
Fuck yeah. Sorry. Anyway, anybody that you'd like to see as a minstrel or fool in your house?
Probably my brother Kevin. So
Brother Kevin.
there you go.
There you go. All right. Do you have any bettermen? The people that follow you.
Let's see. People that follow me. I don't know.
Oh, you can call out some people you can call people in here and they'll love you for it.
All right. So let's see. From AK, LMR, my TARDIS buddy, Phil H, the man who I know he loves Stannis, but I just had to, put in the horse damn joke there. DA, the one who pretty much like got me into like the Game of Thrones community along with Johnny, because he's the one to like send me the link and tell me, oh, this is how you do Google Hangouts and whatnot. I knew people I met along the way, like you guys, Bridge 4 this year and others. I can't even like scroll up because my live chat is just so crazy. So
Right,
it's like I
it's
know there's
moving.
like more people, but it's just not
But
moving. And I'm
everybody
not
in the
being an
chat
ass
is
for
his
not naming
banner man.
people. But yeah,
Yeah.
The
it's always
chat.
it's a live chat. It's a live chat.
Live chat is the
banner
banner
man.
man. I love it.
House
All
live
right.
chat
House live.
House
of
live chat.
of region YouTube.
So, do you have a Twitter? The personal
Oh
Twitter?
yeah, it is how it's House Broke but 94.
Housebrook 94. And your final
Mhm.
thought on this episode?
Oh, this was just an average episode of Game of Thrones of season 6. It's like, god damn it, this is like the writing has been so far. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Just deliver us a good like final season. We're good. So we don't have to like, go to D&D's house and do the same thing the Hound did to those men in the beginning of the episode.
Don't make
Or
me
what
go
the
hound
Mountain
on
did.
D&D. Exactly.
Maybe they will say something good before they die. I don't know.
Exactly. Well, I want to say thank you
Well,
very
Goonies
much.
never say die.
No, they don't. And hey, you guys. So, but FDS, thank you very much, man. We appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us tonight. It's been definitely a pleasure. Make sure everybody in the chat, everybody listening this week, become a Patreon to get access to our Slack channel and other goodies from our show. Learn more at patreon.com/stayimaginary. For all the ways you can help keep our beer bank full, check out the podcastthat.com/support us. Again, FDS, thank you, man. It's been an honor, been a pleasure. You were awesome tonight. And hope we get to hang out some more and do some more stuff together. Barring any scheduling mishaps, we will be joined by yet another special guest next week, Emmett Booth, quote unquote, Poor Quentin of Not a Cast podcast.
With
Make sure you.
yeah,
What's that?
it's good. This is one. So if you know Eliana, you know Chloe, you know Emmett Booth as well. Poor Quentin does a podcast with Mr. Beefish himself. Yeah, you've probably heard him. Good podcast. Check it out. Listen to a few of their episodes before you join us next week because it's gonna go off in the deep end. He's a Bran fan, Benj. Just get ready.
So I'm planning on just getting drunk and sitting back and listening.
And a Standerman.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
I'm sitting back and
Oh,
just
no.
getting hammered. That's fine. Yeah. Hey,
Stan-
Ask Phil H. He's not in the chat anymore, but he's been giving me shit all week for as much as drunk as I've gotten last week. So next week will be
Yeah, I
another
think
one
we
of
all
them.
did.
We know it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, no,
It was all of us, but anyway, follow us at Known Drink. Send us a digital raven at knowndrink@gmail.com. Subscribe, like, rate, and leave us comments on iTunes and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when we go live, because it's never technically set. It can always just pop up randomly. So you have that bell, it'll come up.
we like to surprise you. We like to come at you from every angle.
And it can also
We're
like
like the-
stop
we're
in
like
the
the
middle of the
Reeds.
episode, and then
We're-
you have to go
No,
back in.
goddammit. Luke, we're like gray water wash or gray water. What the fuck
Watch.
is
Gray Water Watch.
Thank
Water
you.
wash.
gray water
Like
watch?
the-
You don't know where we're gonna pop up. We may pop up and be like, ha! We're gonna eat some toads. So until next time.
As always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
As always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
As always, winter is coming, and so am I. FTS. You got an as always.
Cersei's the greatest. Cersei's the best. Cersei's the greatest. Cersei's the best.
And as always, stay imaginary.
Imagery.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
All right, we're gonna
All
go
right.
to our standby screen real quick and figure out what's going on right now. So hang out in the chat for a few minutes, and we'll still be in the chat. We may be coming back for a short period of time, but stay around, and we'll let you know here shortly. And
right.
God, you guys are so sexy in the chat. You look
Dude,
great tonight. You
fucking
guys,
awesome.
I'm glad you
So
guys dressed
good.
up.
Hi, chat.
You guys,
Ooh,
you did
woo.
your hair, you did your nails on the chat. Like, I mean, come on, you did your toenails too. We don't deserve that, but we appreciate it.
Manny
They
E.
Never
Petty.
mind.
Petty and petty. You know, that's we get it. We get
You
it.
guys
We got
know
the second
country
razor.
music.
We got the new razor treatment tonight. You know.
You guys don't do country music, but there's a fantastic song that says
Up, down, up, down.
Is it all about
That
doing
one,
up
Glenn.
downs?
Yeah, I mean
Doing
not
up
that
downs.
one. No, we'll just leave you with this.
No.
No. Did I shave my legs for this? Like, just saying, it's a real song. Look it up.
Okay. So chat, we'll be potentially right back. Or we're gonna leave you hanging. Hang out for a few minutes.
do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Uh,
Jojen.
All right. So we are back. We kicked Abby out. We're doing our epilogue episode. I have no idea what we're actually going to be talking about because we really didn't discuss it.
So for any new viewers that are with us, the epilogue episode is free reign. We've been doing a lot of book to show comparisons through season 5 and 6, but we're almost past where that almost makes sense. This is more of a and our guest tonight, Fandom D Saint, really hasn't read the books all the way through. It's more of he's seen the show. So this is today, I think, more of a connections from this episode specifically to things that happen in season 7 of, hey, we had to censor ourselves on like, hey, next episode, Cersei's going to blow up the whole fucking, or 2 episodes from now, she's going to blow the whole fucking sept. Like that's what's alluded to. Fandom, Dave, take it away. Like what are your thoughts on the way it's presented here in this like cliffhanger of, oh, it's much more than we've rumored about. Like that's what Kyburn says. He's like, there's a lot more to it, and we're like, what the fuck? Apparently, it's a lot more wildfire, right?
Exactly. Just all the scenes today. It's like, okay, so she's pretty much just again, just like I said earlier, it's like, okay, it's like your last chance here. You either, side with Cersei or you just keep, doing your F stuff, and it's like you're gonna die. And the moment we learn, like, oh, it's confirmed about the wildfire stuff, 2 episodes, you're all gonna like pretty much burn. Just watching it now again is just so satisfying. It's like, okay, good. Don't
Yeah.
tell her the announcements. Don't let her sit next to her kid.
And we
Okay.
say 2 episodes, but it's like the next time we see her, right? Because the whole next episode is
Oh, yeah,
Battle of the Bastards, where it's like that's why I was like, oh, next episode, but it's
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I mean,
that's the other thing
time-wise,
about
it's
what
the next
Abby
time we
was
see
saying
her.
during our episode. She's like, there was no North stuff. There was no Bran. There was no
Oh,
John.
get
There was no
buckle
Sansa.
up.
And it's like, there's a reason for that because we're getting to the Battle of the Bastards. We're
They're
getting
teeing it
to
up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But let me ask you guys, Luke and Glenn, really quick. Did you honestly think what she was talking, like when you first saw this, did you think that it'd be the wildfire that she was alluding to or that Kyron was alluding to? I'm not gonna lie, I had about a 20% suspicion. I was like, she's talking about wild because she knew about the wildfire back from season 2, from when she had Roy Treese. God damn it! I just covered this fucking episode in another stream, and I know Luke,
the pyromancer,
yeah, what was it? Hal
Howland. Is that right?
Howland.
Jim,
No,
I think.
it's it's H something.
Frank.
Chat, help me out. Roy Treese portrayed blank the pyromancer in season 2.
If they can get it before the lag plus Google. It's Holland, Hallyn, Holland.
Howland.
Holland?
Okay.
I'll
Holland.
credit myself with that
Anyways.
one. I thought so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
In Joe Magician.
what
There
was
you
the
go.
what was the question? What did I think about?
What did you realize what she was alluding to with
Yeah,
her cryptic message?
I mean,
Heard
or
about
the
rumors-
question.
Honestly, like I knew she was up to like she had to been up to something. But would I guess like she would have done what she did? Probably not.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I didn't see her blowing up the fucking sept. The wildfire thing, I was like, okay, maybe they're playing like I had a mindset of the wildfire. I didn't think she'd blow up the
especially
fucking
when
set.
especially
Sept.
taking away like all these characters like Marjorie,
Yeah.
Dolores, High Sparrow. Then Tommen ends up dying too. It just seemed like
It's a big consolidation
Right,
that
of-
happens.
Yeah.
let's just
for the show for sure.
to get where we need to go to, and next season's going to be 7 episodes. The season after that, 6 episodes. We need to shed some fat,
Mm-hmm. So, Dave, I know you haven't read the books past like book 1 or 2, is what you said. You said like basically book
Yeah,
1.
I'm in beginning of book 2.
Are you wary of book spoilers? Do you want me to stay
No,
away?
you can go away. I've been in so many streams that they
Okay.
said so much books.
I figured as
whatever.
much. So one big scene that we never got from the books is the burning of the Tower of the Hand that Cersei does, and this is a bit of a show replacement for that, plus a huge show consolidation. Cut the fat, as Glenn was alluding to, and it gives the kind of parallels to the Mad King Ares that are drawn throughout the books of burn them all. That's kind of Cersei's MO on several things as the story goes along of, well, at the end of the day, we're top dog and we can just kill people. Like, that's kind of what she learned from Tywin, and she might not have learned some of the subtleties that it takes. She's learned the domineering aspects of being a Lannister. She hasn't quite learned, in my opinion, the subtleties that Tyrion has and the warlord type things that Jaime has. And he's made his mistakes too, and Tyrion's made his mistakes too, but Cersei's in this sole survivor type position that she can just kind of bank on like we've said on this show multiple times, the 1/3 of Tywin's personality that she believes that she has. And this is kind of dropping the A-bomb of, I'm going to solve this problem. It works. I mean, especially for what we see for season 7. Like, yeah, she's the only dog in the race at that point in Westeros. So effective, not right. That's the Tywin way.
No, exactly. And going back to the part of the scene where, where Qyburn, I'm not gonna lie, I love Qyburn's response. Oh, the rumors you told me about. Oh, is there any left? Oh, yes, and more. And he's just so excited to see it because I love the Qyburn character, especially from this scene. Watching, because again, when I saw it, I was like, "Are they talking about wildfire?" Like, it took me, and I don't say I came up with it on my own. Full Reddit threads and like watching it back and seeing other smarter people's fucking thoughts on it. It's like, is that what he's talking about? Okay, that might be what he's talking about. But seeing his jubilation in this, because it's just fucking weird, because the guy that brought the mountain back from life, back from death and everything, I kind of appreciate it because it's like, yes, this this is what I meant for it, is seeing the death and destruction. So Qyburn is, show wise, kind of one of my favorite characters, just because he does not give a fuck about human life. He just wants to know what the cause and reaction of life is. He doesn't care about the actual life. It's the, you know,
It's just kind of a wild card.
yeah,
Wild fire card.
So I mean, it's one that, so this scene here, watching back at it now, from what I know, it's like it makes it so much better. Of, oh, that's just fucking awesome. I'm not gonna say I thought absolutely from the first moment I saw, I was like, oh yeah, they're talking about wildfire, blah blah blah. Just theories and everything like that is like, oh, it just makes it so much better because Kyburn's just a fucking maniac.
He's just curious. I love it. I like Qyburn a lot.
I do too.
It's the curiosity that kills everyone else.
Exactly.
It's
You cannot
or
save,
brings them
you
back.
cannot save 10,000 people without killing 100.
It
You know,
takes
you
a
have
few
to
sacrifices to figure
Exactly.
some things out. It's the scientific
Exactly.
approach.
Exactly. It's
And as Elamar would say, more gore, more gore, more gore, more gore.
Al Gore.
Al
Gore.
Gore.
Or
Invented the
more
internet.
gave us the
Invented
red
internet.
wedding, and they were like, "Oh no, just stop, just stop. Let's take a breather for a second, and then we come back."
all right. So what else are we talking about tonight? Luke?
We have the Hound, Sandor Clegane, right, and joining the B without
B without
with or without B.
B without B.
Right, Glenn. What do you think of like this reintroduction to that group for Sandor?
I mean, I like it. It's just like a direction that he's gonna take, and like he's gonna be part of the family, I guess, but at the same time, just not wanting to be part of it. Like he's gonna go with them, obviously, but at the same time, he's gonna be like, kind of like not playing his cards not playing his hand, I guess. He's not gonna be like, oh, I love being a part of this team. Like,
I'm just so I like what the Lord of Light's doing. Like
right.
I'm
He
cool.
still doesn't agree with a lot of stuff they do, and but at the same time, he's out of friends. Like they killed his last friend, and then he killed the guy that killed him. So like, what is he gonna What is he gonna do? Like his goal was to deliver Arya, and then he ended up almost dying or whatever, and then so he doesn't have any like plans really. So he's kind of open for whatever, in my opinion.
Yeah. True. He's like, can you get me chickens? I want
I
the
want to
fucking
go where the
chickens.
chickens go.
I want to be where the chickens are. I want to see them, hear them
Where they are coin
clucking.
flapping. I want to know what cluck means.
And I will say, I truly appreciate Fandom's comment earlier about the KFC, coupon
Yeah.
that he,
$5 fill up.
yeah, I mean, he should at least be getting some kind of recruiting bonus, right? Of like, hey, if I'm going to join the team,
Is KFC still open?
give me some fucking chickens. I'll eat every fucking chicken in this place. Give me a coupon that says I can eat every fucking chicken in this place. That's, I think, reasonable at this point. I like that it just in this episode is like, I like chicken better.
Right. Wasn't there a commercial where the Mountain was playing Colonel Sanders, or was that?
So
There was a commercial where he was actually like, I think he was working at KFC, and there's like a whole bunch of people just like going in on like their lunch rush or something.
I know
Like,
Christian Nairn Hodor has done a KFC commercial for
Oh,
Home
maybe it was
Rule.
him I was
Really?
thinking.
Hathor Julius Hathor Bjornsson, who plays the Mountain and is
I know
also
he
the
does
strongest man in the world.
Water stuff.
He is a water fountain, a at home sparkling water
Yeah.
guru. Like that is
Which
what
is
he's
why
like.
Septon Unella, if you haven't
Yeah,
seen
I have seen that commercial too with them together.
she takes the thing off and it's like, okay, damn, okay, yeah. I can see it because Septon Unella out of the garb, fuck yeah. I give her credit. She looks fucking gorgeous. But she plays the hardcore nun role to a T. Silence.
Yeah, it just got very weird.
Luke was typing.
I was
know.
typing.
And he's normally the talker. When weird silence comes, Luke's pretty good about.
Do we
one
talk about
filling it.
chicken more?
So, what's your favorite kind of chicken from KFC? I like the original recipe or the spicy. What are your
Give me the
thoughts?
bowl. I
I'm
want
not.
the bowl.
I'm not picky.
I want
on
every
when it comes
fat
to chicken.
thing. I want every fat boy thing in the bowl. Like Patton Oswalt says, "Oh, you have corn?
The
Okay, give me
KFC
corn.
bowl or whatever.
You have mashed potatoes? Yeah, I'll take that too. Oh, chicken on top? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
oh
like,
yeah, cover that
just throw-
motherfucker in cheese.
He's like flippity flappity doo. Just
Flippity
throw everything
flappity-doo.
together.
I'll take it. Yeah.
What was that
So-
thing? What was that thing they came out with a few years back? It was almost like a sandwich, but it had like the bread was like substituted in for two like chicken pieces or something like that.
Oh, the double down.
The double down.
The double down.
Yeah,
It's-
there was just like a.
the bun is two chicken
Yeah.
breasts and it's sandwich.
And it was like just
cheese
a,
and bacon.
like a heart attack waiting to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, I've ordered one. I'm okay.
I've lived to tell the.
And I'm on the other side of the double down.
Man,
So what else happened?
I'm fat enough to admit I've had one. So
What else has happened in this episode? We had
right,
River Run going back to Jamie. That doesn't really go anywhere because he ends up just going back. to
Yeah, and
King's
actually,
Landing.
here's the thing. This was the last part where we can tell Abby she can read all the way through.
We are at that point right now that reading wise
we're done. We're
books
out.
are kind of out of it.
Yeah, this is the last.
And we're
bit,
actually
apart
even
from the
beyond
Brienne,
several
Jamie
of
thing.
the we're past several of the Winds of Winter preview chapters. I mean, the Mercy is really the only that's the only one I think really.
Well,
but
Mercy Theon, because they had there was the Theon one where he joins up with
Theon's
Stannis.
story arc is very different. It's
But,
very
yeah,
very different.
the arc is different, but I'm just saying the Winds of Winter preview chapter where him and Yara meet up with Stannis,
That's the end of Dance of Dragons is when Theon shows up.
there is a Theon.
There are Theon chapters. I agree.
That's
we
what
don't
I'm
have
saying. That's all I'm
those.
So that one, but yeah. So for where we're at, we can tell Abby she can read all the books now.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with
she's
that.
safe. Because at this episode, because the River Run was the last kind of holdout, because that's a Feast for Crows kind of stuff, and this one actually isn't far off. Except we don't get the Thomas Seven Strings having the song about fucking Edmure
Okay.
being a floppy fish, because the whole story of that is Edmure got drunk one night, met a girl, tried to hook up with her, and couldn't perform, and so Thomas Seven Strings wrote a song about the Lord of River Run, or the future Lord of River Run, not being able to perform because of whiskey dick.
The floppy fish.
Floppy fish.
Last year at Ice and Fire Con, someone I forget his name. It's on the Ice and Fire Con YouTube. They did a ukulele kind of
Yes, I saw the YouTube of that.
It's good. And I actually, after that ended, saw the guy in the bathroom. I was like, nice job.
Nice dick. Is what he said to him.
You high-fived him
That's
on his way
exactly
from
what
the
he said to him.
urinal.
Don't lie. We weren't that close, but it was like the ones in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're like, I see what
It
you
was
got
cool.
there.
It was
Yeah,
all right.
Cool.
It's just guy stuff,
I hope so.
But so
Just got something in the
it's one of
bathroom.
those.
Just
At a urinal.
I did.
I liked your song.
I did like where they kind of brought back the book source materials for the show. Doing it this way, it was a bit late. Excuse me, compared to what George had written, but they still got it in. And Jamie is still as cold and as fucking dickheadish in the books as he is in the show, at least right here. Like I said, with Jamie, that's why I said my favorite thing in the episode was Jamie's not a good fucking guy. He's a guy.
He's a bad
He's
guy.
doing what he thinks needs to be done, but he's not a good fucking person because he's only doing what's best for him and his family. And that's why the scene is so fucking good, because everything else in the show is, I'm whitewashing. We have the good and the bad.
It makes it just much more palatable for the show audience of, hey, let's not get as dark as some of these characters are going to go. Let's just have other characters kind of allude to that for them without them really dealing with the ramifications of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but with Jamie, they're keeping him that great character, and
Because
so
he's
I
so
like that.
handsome.
Well,
and
at the same
easy on
time,
the TV
Oh,
screen.
he's still fucking beautiful.
It seemed like he had this
If
arc.
he wanted to give me a kissing lesson and
and
whatever,
and
hey.
plung your butthole.
I'm not gonna say absolutely not.
Get your Danish finger out of my butthole.
Like at the same time, it seemed like he was on this like character arc where, like, you almost liked Jamie at a point where, like, oh, he's sorry for the shit that he done, and he wants to get over that Kingslayer title and stuff like that, and he's doing good things and stuff like that, and then there's a scene like this, and you're like, well, wait a second, like, he is still a dick.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to be better, but can't bring himself to be better because it's. Yeah,
He's
he's
conflicted
still a
with
dick.
himself.
He's still a dick. He's still the same guy that shoved a kid out of the window because he saw him
Well-
fucking his sister.
Well, he's not, but it's also confusing because the show is wishy-washy on it. That's the problem, is the show did a good job of bringing it back the way the book does, but it also neglected these scenes that we're seeing right now, which were book 3 scenes, until after basically book 5 scenes. I mean, and it doesn't really jive. So we get a lot of confusing Jamie things where it's a natural arc that he goes through, I think, in the book, and it makes sense
Yes, book-wise, yes,
And
it does
also
make
leaving
sense,
out
but I'm
Stoneheart is a big drop as well for him.
I'm looking
Moving
at this as
forward.
a show-wise. Like, think about it literally just as a show-wise. He's never really been a good guy apart from saving Brienne from rape.
Side note, real quick. Nice job not getting Rory McCann's cock in this picture right
Yeah.
here.
Shalong.
Oh, I
He
know, trust me.
Schlonged up right there. I know you were looking for it. You tried, but
I've seen it several times. So I
continue
yes.
on.
But
Oh, have you?
show-wise, he's never been a good guy apart from
His
him
time with
preventing
Brienne.
Brienne's rape. Apart from that, he's been middle of the road to negative, connotation for Jamie,
Ooh.
And again, because of our natural human instincts, he's a nice guy, but doesn't mean he's a good guy. And I think the show actually does it very well. I love how the book does it. Don't get me wrong. The book's story arc and redemption arc is actually way better because it starts from him shoving Bran out the window to, yeah, he's in a good position to be a good guy and trusted. Show wise, it's a very small arc. Very small. It's smaller than the arc of your dick on anybody on this show. So
Can you confirm?
I can't
Don't say that.
confirm any of that. I can't confirm any of that. Just thought it'd be a funny line to say as
I
I'm
think we've gone.
rambling
I'm gonna lock
on.
my doors at night.
All
But
right, all right.
it's a
in case
very-
someone
Are
came
there
through.
any other characters in this episode that we can talk about connecting to season 7 stuff? Let's see. We have Marine. Obviously, we can talk about Danny, but there's not really a whole lot. It's just kind of they fight and then she goes over, and then you can open that whole can. Let's kind of avoid that can of dragon worms. Arya leaves here. I mean, I guess that'd be like the final thing we could kind of talk about is Arya leaving Bravos, because the next time we see her, it's at the Twins, right? That's the next time we see her is killing
Yes.
Walder Frey.
I'll be back.
So Dave, what are your thoughts on, like, we don't see her for the next 2 episodes, and then we start season 7. That's the season 7 opener, I believe.
I kind of wish that was like the ending for season 6.
I kind of do too. I'm with you.
Especially with the whole wave thing and then the Jock and the guard thing. I'm
It's like that would have saved it,
yeah, it really would have.
right? But then they'd have the questions of how did she get there so quickly? At least with like the season off, it's kind of like, oh, you have that perspective of time change with the season to season calendar change. Because that would be a pretty quick, I don't know. I would have to see like when she took the boat after season 4, episode 3-ish. I think is when she took the boat to Bravos. Maybe episode. It might actually been episode 1, or it's around that early season 4 stuff where she gets on the boat with the captain from Bravos, and then they end up in Bravos, like season 5, episode 2. So it was quite a difference, or maybe that was late episode season 4. But either way, if they would have done that scene as the finale, they would have had to do it as the very last scene, which I think would have gone well, because they would almost have to play it up as like an epilogue to that season. Like, hey, there's been some time since 2.5 episodes ago, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, people would complain about that. I'm not saying I
An
agree
after
with it.
credit scene, maybe, I don't know. Because if you did like an after credit scene, it'd been like,
And they've never
well,
done that.
could have been the first thing, and then they could have then explained it through that time gap. Well, we don't know when specifically it happened, so
But it happens after this season.
exactly.
Yeah. And there's definitely been some things, and I think we're going to see in episode, I'm sure you would have also enjoyed being on the episode 10 of season 6.
That was like the first thing I like looked over. The moment you sent me that link, I'm like,
I
don't tell me
know.
someone got episode
I
10. Like,
know.
damn it.
It was
Then I
it
was
was
like, okay,
picked.
now to
It
make
was
sure if
picked.
Cersei's in an episode, I can't refer to episode 10.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I was hoping to get you on this, because we have that burning the sept scene coming up in 2 episodes, and like that was a unique kind of thing that they did of, hey, let's do like a 10.5 minute cold open with no words. I mean, it was like a long time. So they're okay with kind of challenging things and kind of pushing the boundaries of what you can do on television, make it more thematic and theatric as they go along. But
Yeah.
they've never done an after the credits scene. And I do think that the Walder Frey kill from Arya would have been a very good after the season 6 finale, after the credits, end with that,
Yeah.
rather than it open season 7 with. I think it's even better. I would. That's where my feelings are.
No, agreed. It's kind of like one of those of, because the 10 minutes of silence to the build up, it reminds me of the movie Up,
Cry
because
in the first 3 seconds.
of what?
Cry in the first 3 seconds.
No, yeah. I mean, I love that movie. I love the beginning. I know a lot of people hate it because whatever, it hits me hard for my own reasons. But that first 10 minutes, there's not a fucking word said, and it's fucking built up, and you know exactly what's going on, and you know exactly what has happened. So I never thought about it, Luke, until you literally just said it right there. That last fucking section of season or episode 10, season 6, just let Arya show up and be standing there. If anything, not
I'm
a
gonna
fucking
give
word.
Phantom credit on that. I was more just reiterating what
Okay,
he
cool.
brought up.
And I did walk away. I
Yeah,
apologize.
no, that was an idea he had that I was all on board with and ran with.
Yeah, and so it's one of those I never again, yeah, that fucking clicks. Fucking after the credits, just and they don't even need a play up. Just Arya standing over the phrase. I will suffice or kind of I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, but basically we get that end of credits
Preface.
thing. Very last shot. We just see Arya standing in the phrase standing in the twins, and everybody's down. And then the first opening scene is Arya's. We get what happened, but the very last shot of season 6, episode 10 is just Arya standing over all the phrase, face down. I personally, that's the way I would have liked it to see.
I also got a
Not,
lot of points out of the Game of Thrones fantasy for
I
picking
did too.
Arya as the.
Oh, I did too. Yes. And who won? Oh wait, who won season 7?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
It
Why?
was the Night King.
Night King.
That's why.
Because
yeah.
I
It
know the
was
bad guy's not going to win the season before.
bullshit with the
The only person
points.
going to win the season before is going to be the fucking.
Was
baddest
ranked
of the bad.
17th in the nation at one point. 17. And you
And I ended up
beating me.
fucking 22nd overall.
Robin Aaron just didn't cut it for me. All right, so final thoughts
didn't
on
do
this
anything.
scene. Fandom. Just final thoughts on this episode. As anything else sitting out, like, hey, I want to chat about this real quick, as it connects to upcoming episodes.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, though. Like, wait, just for season 7 and 8, or just 7?
Yeah, just from here through season 7.
No, we
I mean,
pretty much covered it.
Yeah,
unless you spot something from here that could be professorial.
professorial.
Oh, maybe we talked about Varys.
Yeah, we could talk. We could touch on Varys real quick. What are your thoughts on Varys leaving here? And obviously he goes to the Reach and Dorne and has that conversation. And what are your thoughts on him leaving Tyrion to go do that and how that ends
At
up
first,
working out?
like watching that, I really thought that he was gonna go to like King's Landing and do something with Cersei or something. Because I still, to this day, I still don't even trust Varys. So even when he was like gonna go, I thought he was gonna go meet up with Cersei or someone else, and not even like bother with getting any like make an alliance,
Mm-hmm.
with people with Dorne and then with the Tyrells as well. So that was just something that I just wanted to say.
In Varys, I trust. He's my horse. That's him and Bran.
You're gonna
Those
trust a
those are my
man with
those are
no
my
balls,
favorites.
man.
Yeah, what's he got to lose? Him and Bran. What do they have to lose? Like they're just here to help the team. I don't know.
Exactly.
Ben,
Yeah,
just take us out of this.
All right, we're done and we're over with. So thank you everyone in the chat. I'm just gonna scroll up about fucking 3 rolls of my mouse to make sure I get everybody. OTDA, Diane Rule, Joe Magician, Blue Rooster, Tony, 3483,
3483.
LMR, Phil H, 1, 2, 3, Clash All.
Flash all
That's
from
about
Sydney, Australia, who was checking in with me yesterday of, hey, I missed your last stream. Awesome. Glad you guys could make it.
awesome. Thank you guys. And JD, fucking awesome. If you can click on his channel, go to his streams. He does awesome live streams for stuff. He's a good friend of mine. And that's about it for a good chunk. But thank you all for being here for our epilogue episodes. FDS Dave, thank you, sir. We love you, man. If you want any insight on the true fandoms of stuff, of help me out here, fandom
All
of
the shows that are out there.
Supernatural,
There's a lot of
dude,
shows.
Dem
from
Yeah,
shows.
some Gotham, Supernatural,
Titans.
Legion, like The Gifted. Like if you're a Marvel fan, go watch The Gifted. If you just want a lot of like the cliche superhero type things, but you still watch Legion, because even though it's like a Marvel show, it's a good mind fuck. It's like watching Westworld in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
nice,
Cool.
So watch Legion
nice.
too.
But for reactions and everything, check out his channel because he's a fucking intelligent as fuck dude that just knows what he's talking about. And also, you want a question on Funko Pops, that's the man to go to. You want to get into it? Go see this man.
I want to see
So,
a Funko Pop conversation between him and Bailey Riddle. They could talk for a while, I believe.
I actually watched a Funko Pop debate between fandom and who was it
Wait,
with you on Milk's channel?
Saunders. Yes, it was on Milt's channel, the West Rosie Ninja. It
What was
on
his name? The other guy.
Andrew Saunders, yeah. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his last name. Could be butchering it. We
Yeah.
forget.
Andrew Saunders. He
Andrew,
was
yeah.
in our chat for a while, and he was in Drinks and Nose. Okay, yeah, Andrew Saunders, dude. Both of them had phenomenal fucking Funko Pop knowledge and everything. So if you're into that scene, check both of them out because they know their shit. They don't even have to drink. They've just fucking
They just know. It
They
it
just
requires
know.
us drinking sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry for that,
So-
I guess.
I don't think it's allowed on Milt's channel, honestly. Could be
But
wrong. But
one other shot for fandom and myself, a little bit on that. If you're in trivia at all, check us out on the Citadel of Trivia. We stream every Friday night at about 7 p.m. Central. Next week, we are covering season 6 of Game of Thrones. So hope you can join us there. But as always,
I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
as
As always, don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.
go ahead, Glenn.
Say
Finish this
Benji's
up.
too.
As
Yeah.
always, winter is come, and me too. As always, stay imagery.
Thank you, sir.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
All right, guys. Everybody.